going on, everybody? Welcome back to the conversation today. And man, we got some tough conversations to have about Arsenal, but we're gonna be talking about everybody in the Champions League. But it's only right that we start off with Arsenal. What a fucking shit and pitiful fucking performance that was. Pitiful performance. The fact of the matter is, let's just call it for what it is. This Bayer Leverkusen team is playing with house money. They're sixth. They're sixth in Germany. They're 5 points off of. They're contending for fourth at this current point in time. They're only 3 points behind Stuttgart and Leipzig, but at the same time, I mean, we should have took this team to the whipping post. I mean, let's just be honest here. Big up Declan. Big up Darren. Darren, listen, man. It was a fucking shit show, this game. How the fuck does this team have one less man in the midfield, but they bossed the whole game? How does a wingback in Alejandro Grimaldo absolutely teach Saka and Timber that the ball's round and not square this game? We're lucky that Alex Garcia wasn't on form this game. Defensively, he was fantastic. Offensively, though, some of them long shots that he takes are way more on target, and we're lucky he skied them. We're lucky Raya made another unbelievable save again, because shit, that game could have very easily been 2-0. And the way we played, 2-0, if we play the same way in the Emirates, there's no way we're coming back. And right now, you know, Real Madrid is slapping the shit out of City. City, I mean, hell, if Real Madrid scores one more goal, I wouldn't be surprised if Pep Guardiola just says, fuck the Champions League. We're focusing now on the Premier League and everything else. Because this is absolute nonsense. And for all these fucking hype men, for the corner kick tactics and all this other bullshit, you see what's happening now. These referees are they're not allowing this Premier League bullshit with stopping the keeper from coming out and everything else. They ain't letting it happen. And you see the results. The only team that's keeping up somewhat of a fight is Chelsea. But besides that, the Premier League is getting fucking exposed here in the Champions League, this first game of the knockout stages right now. So it is absolutely insanity with what's going on. Fantastic save by Thibaut Courtois right there. Still watching this City game. I mean, City's had more of the ball, but it's same thing, man. If you can't score on the freaking corner kick, they're making this difficult. I mean, it's absolutely insane with what's been going on. Absolutely insane with what's been going on in this round. Big up, Benji. Appreciate you stopping by for the conversation. PSG now up 3-2. Yeah, they aren't anything special. Martinelli, I don't know what the fuck he is. Disabled is fucking an understatement. They should start calling him the new zigzag man, because that's all he could do. That's all he could do is a zigzag, look up, zigzag, look up, and then pass backwards. They should be calling Martinelli the new zigzag man. That was fucking dog shit. That game is an absolute fucking disgrace of what happened. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, Leverkusen is playing with house money. All they got to do is sit back and counterattack. And we are lucky that they couldn't put passes together once they got past the halfway line in the second half, because these boys, that 19-year-old, was crucifying Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. He was giving them all the smoke. Everything they were looking for, they got. And it is absolutely ridiculous that this happened. Bob, big up to you, my guy, for stopping in. Saka, listen, man. Saka, in my personal opinion, you don't start him. Start Madueke and start Max Dowman on the wings the next game, and let's see what the fuck happens at this rate. Big up, Macy. What's going on, my guy? I know I just saw you on Nord Stream and everything.
Yeah, we're still talking about today's shambolic performance against Leverkusen. Yeah, it was shambolic. I mean, Leverkusen today, they should have at least survived with that one goal. But the fact that we were able to stink out a 1-1 draw shows how pathetic this football club is. I just didn't think, for me, that was a penalty. It's just Madueke. He was running.
Soft. It was soft. It was a penalty. Where I can see with what you're saying is after the contact, Madueke could have stayed on his feet. He just flung himself to the ground because of the contact that was there. So I hear it that it was a soft penalty. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It was a soft penalty. Don't get me wrong. But
apart from that, Gianni, I didn't celebrate 29's goal because I despise that fucking German giraffe. I'm sick of this guy. Because what does that goal even do for him? What does it even do for him? Nothing. Because he's gonna go on TikTok and he's gonna post it. He's gonna put a picture of himself saying, "Oh, look at me! I scored a goal on my return to Leverkusen." Shut the fuck up! You are dog shit today, and you've been dog shit throughout the whole season since you've been at Arsenal. So this summer we need to sell this giraffe out right now. Martinelli can fuck off as well. How can you miss that big opportunity to put us in front? You should have at least
This is Martinelli, Macy. The zigzag man. That's all he can fucking do is the zigzag.
That is right. He had the biggest opportunity to put us in front. But what does this Brazilian Pokemon-looking fraud do? He gets the ball and then he smacks it into the crossbar. And you know what? I saw his head was down when he struck the ball into the crossbar. Mate, put your head up. Why are you putting your head down when you're striking? Put your head up, because I just don't understand why he's afraid to not keep his head up when he's trying to shoot. I'm sick. Yeah, we were lucky not to have lost that game tonight, Gianni. We scammed our way to it. But second leg, I think second leg we'll beat Leverkusen because the game's at our ground and we have the advantage. But
Macy, I hear it, but these dudes are so tired. They're so fucking tired. The problem is that they are so exposed. They are so exposed. Listen, for me, Saka and Martinelli should not play this game.
I know.
Max Dowman should be on the left wing. Madueke should be on the right wing. Hell, and to be honest with you, you could bench that motherfucker Zubamendi and start Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield and start fucking around that way. You got to try something.
I know.
That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, because what did Saka and Martinelli do today? They did nothing. Saka throughout the whole game was running with the ball and he didn't even do nothing. He's just trying to show everyone that he's still star boy, but in reality he's pathetic. That is why we need Max Dowman to start the second leg. But my problem is, Gianni, this manager doesn't trust Dowman. He doesn't trust any of the academy players. This is why he's predictable with this squad, that he believes that can get him that Premier League title, but it's not. Saka and Martinelli are dog shit. So I don't care what anyone says. We have to drop them in on the bench and give Dowman and Madueke an opportunity to start the second leg. Because for me, we are in this predicament now, and this is why when we don't take our chances, this is what happens. Because Leverkusen, even though we scammed our way to a draw, they'll be up for the second leg as well, because they'll do the same thing that they did to us tonight. They'll just get one goal and then they'll do the same thing that we used to do all the time. Just park the bus and just let us come forward, and then when they have the ball back, they'll just attack us again.
Yeah. Quaja, what did you make of this fucking shit show that happened today? Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous at this point. This is the fifth play. Everybody swore up and down and told us we got the easiest route to the Champions League. They're Farmer Leagues teams that we got up until the semifinal. I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for Raya making that world-class save against Terrier's header, this is over with for me. Had we gone down, if we'd have went down 2-0, there's no way that I'm thinking we're coming back and winning, because I've never seen this team ain't going to play all-out offense the way they need to. What did you make of the game, Quaja?
Quaja?
I think he froze. Oh no, there he is.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry guys, but big up to everyone. That was one of the worst performances of the season, hands down. Harambe FC. I predicted 2-0, by the way. I predicted 2-0 to us because I know that we don't smoke teams. It is going to be one of them 2-0 stinky wins. But the way we're playing right now, it's not looking good. The way we're playing right now with this manager, I mean, Saka was the worst player on that pitch, hands down. Every time he had the ball, he just lost it. He gave the ball away. I'm like, he's nicking 300k a week. He's nicking a living. Just like our captain, he's nicking 240k a week, right? That guy is supposed to be captaining Arsenal. Saka, that's the captain. But that's not even a captain's performance. We're talking about Saka. I'm sorry, bro. The guy's not good enough. I'm sorry. I want him gone. Even though I don't rate Madueke because his end product wasn't great, he did more than Saka throughout the game. He came on. Yes, I know people are going to say Leverkusen robbed, because, it looked like a soft penalty. But, from now on in the modern game, soft penalties will be given. So any little touch will be a penalty. So that's why VAR said it's not enough to overturn it. But we were very fortunate to draw that game. We should have lost that game.
Hands
because
down.
The second half was the reason why they scored, because we switched off. Arteta decided, let's just defend. Let's just defend, guys. And Raya saved that. That was a good save. Zubimendi, what is he doing? What is Zubimendi doing? What is he doing this for? Go and jump for the header, bruv. You're marking the player. Why are you not jumping? The guy is dead small, Gianni. And I've been saying this. He's massively overrated because our fans keep saying that he's signing of the season. They're saying he's better than Tonali. He's better than Amadou Onana. He's better than Kamara, Gravenberch, Casemiro. He's not even better than Kamara, Casemiro. He doesn't come close to Tonali. He's not better than Bruno G. He's not better than Rice. What does Norgard have to do to get minutes? Because Norgard against Mansfield Town looked better than Zubimendi did in this game. Mason, Zubimendi was just passing the ball sideways every single time.
I know,
but that's the thing. I wouldn't put Norgard in this game. Again, the problem is Declan Rice needs to be the number 6. Look at how exposed we are on the counterattack from Leverkusen. Like I was saying on North Stream, the reason why we've lost the couple games that we have lost this year is they crowd the midfield. Aston Villa crowded the midfield on us. They overran the midfield, which caused the fucking problem. Once you crowd the midfield on Arsenal, we then cause ourselves our own fucking problems. They didn't even crowd the midfield today.
No.
They didn't even crowd the midfield. They went 2 versus 3 and didn't give a shit. Yeah. For me, Miles Lewis-Skelly should have got put in at the halftime and Zubimendi should have got out. Because as soon as Madueke came on, listen, the guy ain't that fucking great. But at least when he brought some pace, at least he was able to go and attack the team with some pace to try to cause some problems for Leverkusen. Why can't we put Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Attack the midfield with pace. This is bullshit. Again, I said this. This is Martinelli's new name right here after this game. He's the zigzag man. All he fucking did was zigzag one way, look up, zigzag back, look up, zigzag back again to the same position, and pass backwards. That's all.
How did he even finish 90 minutes anyway? That's the problem.
That was a crime against humanity. He should have never got 90 minutes. Dauman, Lewis-Skelly should have been on halfway through coming on at halftime. Dauman and Madueke need to start the wings. And this is an indictment on how shit this fucking system is because a 16-year-old that's come out of the youth academy and a guy who we didn't even want are now who we're looking at to try to get us over the line. Why was Jesus put on? What the fuck did this bum do?
Nothing.
Roberts was on the damn pitch till he was the one taking the penalty. It's nonsense across the board.
It's jarring, Gianni. I'm just sick of it now. When are we going to start obliterating teams? Because all we do, we just get one goal and then we just retreat back and then invite pressure onto the opposition so that when they get a goal, then we have to start all over again. But today it was the opposite. Leverkusen scored first, and then they were just parking the bus. They were just saying to us, "Come on." And they were just backing us off. They were doing the same thing we do all the time, just parking the bus. And when they get the ball for one goal, they just have the freedom to just pass it around like through their goalkeeper and throughout their whole defense, and then they start attacking again. So this is what Leverkusen did all game. They were just copying our movement. And there was one point in the game where they got the goal. Our set piece coach was having a go at at one of Leverkusen's assistant coaches or somebody, Nicholas Jova. Like, why is he having a go at them?
He wasn't having a go. Did you see what he did? He went over and shook his hand. He went over to he went over. If you watch it back, he went to go shake his hand.
Wow.
It's like, what are you doing? Why are you even going by the opposing coaches to go shake his hand?
Brother,
This is what I
can
mean.
somebody
What? He was going to go learn the corner kick tactic they used? And that's another thing. How is it that the referees in Europe all got hip to game and isn't allowing none of these Premier League teams to pull this corner shit, and all the Premier League teams are now losing?
crazy.
I know, and Henri was watching the game, and even he couldn't believe what he was seeing as well. This is a club legend for us, and he cannot. This is what he's seeing from us. Like, this is embarrassing. Henri is one of our best strikers, but the way we've been playing terrible this season, he doesn't even recognize us anymore.
And what's worrying about this is, like I said, I would not be shocked. We're lucky that Donnarumma saved that penalty, because if Real Madrid would have won this game 4-0, I guarantee you Pep doesn't give a fuck about that second leg. Guarantee you he don't give a shit about that second leg. He throws the whole second team in there, rest up. The whole first team's ready to go, get a week of fucking rest before the League Cup final.
Yeah, but
Bob, first time having you on the channel. Big up, my guy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you? You all right?
I'm steaming. I'm fucking steaming.
In terms of that, yeah. I mean, do you know what it is for me, though? Do you know what the funny thing is for me? The reason I'm not even like that steaming is because for me, this has been a normal performance. This is just another normal performance.
Rob, I hear that, but here's the problem. The 3 losses that we've had this season is because of teams crowding the midfield. Bayer Leverkusen managed to go undermanned in the midfield, go 2v3 and still beat us. When we lost to Villa, they crowded the midfield, caused us problems, attacked through the middle when they went on counters. All the games that we've either drawn, the midfield has been the problem. We went one man short and still couldn't even penetrate these guys. The wingback, Grimaldo, he was juggling the ball over Timber and Saka like it was nothing today. The
midfield was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Martinelli is on the same board with me with Trossard now. Should never play again.
There was one moment where Martinelli, he got the ball just, I think, on the corner of the box. He ended up almost at the halfway line.
Yep, the zigzag. Look, this is who Martinelli is. He's the new zigzag man. That's all he did the whole game. Zigzag one way, look up, zigzag back, and then pass backwards. This whole performance was shit.
It was horrendous. Yeah, it was horrendous, but we've been seeing this. What we saw it against Mansfield, we've seen it in multiple games, especially this year. Basically, I mean, we had the exception to the rule, which was probably maybe the Leeds game, and maybe was the Inter game this year. I can't remember if the Inter game was this year or last year. Now that's fucking crazy.
No, but you know what I mean. Right at the beginning of January.
Recently, this has been us. This has been us. In fact, a lot of this season, this has been us, and I'm kind of like numb to it now. I'm like, fucking hell, here we go again. I mean, I was texting someone just before Havertz came on. I was texting a mate of mine who wasn't watching it. They're saying, like, how's it going? And so basically, it's just a normal performance. Yet we haven't scammed a goal yet. That was before Havertz came on. And then about like a few minutes later, he comes on, gets the penalty, scores a penalty, and then we get our scam goal. So, like, okay, yeah, it's a standard performance then. Like we scam our way. We've kind of winged it again. It's like, how many times are we going to wing it this season and get away with it? It's absolutely crazy to me. And the commentators were like making me laugh because they were going, "Oh, it looks like Leverkusen have caught Arsenal on an off night," and I was kind of like, on an off night. This is kind of our normal performance. Like,
Rob, you know what's funny is the Premier League's supposed to be the best league in the world. None of the corner kick shit's been allowed in this round of the knockout stages, and they're all losing. They can't put all the Premier League teams that are trying to do this corner kick nonsense. None of the referees are allowing this shit to go on, and they're losing. So that's the big question. If the corner kicks and everything isn't allowed, what happens if all the Premier League teams go out in the round of 16? Now, what's the question? Is it really the best league in the world, or is it just because they figured out a way to scam in the group stages, and now because they're not allowing the shit, they're getting found out for what it is? Well, and I'll be honest with you.
That whole argument, though, is crazy, though, isn't it? It's kind of like because the bar has lowered in the Premier League. that things are more competitive doesn't mean it's necessarily better quality if things are more competitive. There's massive conflation going on.
Exactly.
I think we've been found out a little bit in this first round. It's only taken one round. It's only taken one knockout round. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Suddenly that idea that we're the best team in Europe because we finished top of the group stage in the Champions League looks a little bit flimsy. Do you know what I mean? It's who knew it was a flimsy idea? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, we better hope that Manchester City doesn't decide to fuck off this second leg. We're lucky that Donnarumma saved that fourth goal in the penalty on Vinny, because if that goal would have went in and they go down 4-0 into the second leg, I guarantee you Pep doesn't give a fuck. He rests everybody for the League Cup final.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just seen that Paris Saint-Germain gone 4-2 up. Am I late on that? I didn't even realize.
Yeah, they went up.
Yeah, they did. Kvaratskhelia got the goal. Yeah, big up, bro. Every time.
Okay,
Chelsea are dusty as well.
They're all dusty. All the
yeah.
Premier League teams are dusty. They're all dusty. Again, as soon as this corner kick shit got nullified, everybody bitched about this and saying it's making the game worse. It's nobody likes watching football because of all this corner kick stuff. Now the referees and everybody are listening to what they say. Now all of a sudden the Premier League teams start losing. Real Madrid's got over 11 injuries. They're missing half of the starting 11 and they're smoking City 3-0 because the corner kick shit ain't going. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
And also, we're not that great at defending corners ourselves. I don't know if people haven't really spoken about this, but we've got one of the worst records. We're high up there on the table. You know, these Top Gunners love tables, yeah?
Yep.
The one they won't show you is the one we're high up on for conceding from set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done it quite a few times recently as well. So whenever we concede a corner, I'm kind of nervous because I don't trust us at all. I mean, we saw it again today. I don't trust us at all.
Yep. And we're lucky that Raya made that save against Terrier. That Raya, if we go down 2-0, that ties over.
Oh, yeah. No, I was terrified of it going 2-0. I was thinking, fuck, if we go 2-0 away, there's no way we pull this back.
And not only that, the saddest thing too is that 19-year-old striker they had absolutely was causing Saliba and fucking Gabriel every problem you could imagine. That just shows you how bad the rotation has been, that these guys are this tired. Supposedly I still believe they're two of the 5 best center backs in the world, but a 19-year-old was giving them all the problems in the world because they just look gassed. Like I said, we're lucky that Leverkusen, as soon as they crossed the halfway line, we're lucky that they weren't able to make 3 passes because we could have lost 3-4-0 with the amount of counterattacks they had. 5-2 PSG.
Whoa, okay.
Well, Arsenal's the only team. Team in the Premier League that's got a shot.
Looks like it's over for Chelsea now. It looks like 3-goal advantage is looking like it's going to be slim for Chelsea. Gianni, can I ask you a question, if you don't mind? Why do you think the Premier League teams are struggling in this round of 16? Why do you think?
Because they're not allowing the corner kicks. They're not allowing the bullshit that we see in the Premier League get pulled with the corner kicks. That's why.
Yeah.
When you saw the game against look at the game yesterday with Tottenham and Atletico. Mickey Van de Ven was screaming up and down like he was a bad man the whole fucking game, and then he was flopping left, right, and center in the box to try to get a penalty. Because the calls aren't going their way, because the calls aren't going the Premier League's way with these corner kicks and these set pieces being taken, it's exposed that these teams aren't as good as everybody's hyping up to be. And here's the funnier thing. It's not going to affect us because we're too far ahead. But imagine if all the Premier League teams get knocked out. We don't get the coefficient. So the 5th place team doesn't make the Champions League anymore.
Isn't it Italy the top of the coefficient? Who's top of the coefficient league at the
No,
moment?
England is.
Oh, I thought it was
England's top of the coefficient because all the teams made the knockout rounds. In both the Europa League and the Champions League and in the Conference League. But if all the Premier League teams get knocked out, and then you have if you got 3 Spanish teams and 2 German teams, Germany and Spain will end up getting the coefficient this year. They'll each get the 5th team in.
All right, because I'm Betis in Italy, in Spain, and they're 5th, and so that would be useful for them.
Yeah,
so,
Spain's 2nd right now. I think Germany's 3rd.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the only way Italy was going to hold on is if Atalanta knocked out Bayern, which that wasn't going to happen, and if Roma won the Europa League, which that's not going to happen either. But
Another funny thing from today's game, when I was watching it, the commentators were saying about how, oh, well, they're clearly missing Odegaard. They're clearly missing Odegaard. And I was just like, well, number one, like, you guys have been gassing us up for ages and we haven't had Odegaard. So, like, that's not very consistent. And number two, well, we all know what we're like with, we were playing like this with Odegaard. So, I mean,
There's no difference.
Yeah,
There's no difference.
Yeah.
I say, how do you take a guy who's a number 10 that's that creative to create plays, and you tell him, you know what, you're going to do the same thing as Odegaard. You're going to play a number 8. What we're doing makes no sense. The fullbacks are higher up the pitch when we play out from the back than the fucking wingers. Why is Martinelli and Saka playing wingback positions? Why is Rob? You've watched a lot of football. When have you ever seen a number 10 start the offense from inside his own box or just outside of his own box, not being next to the striker for quick link-up plays? I've never seen this shit before. It's nonsense what we're doing. It's fucking nonsense.
He's kind of a bipolar manager, isn't he? Because he's like, he is decent with defensive players and improving defensive players. But when it comes to attacking players, Jesus fucking Christ. But somehow, statistically, as we keep getting told by that part of our fan base, you know, we're scoring X amount of goals and winning X amount of games and this. And because there's nothing else to quote, because there's only one FA Cup in 7 years, they need these stats just to come with something. They have some ammunition, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But we all know that the stats that they don't want to hear are things like 1 cup in 7 years or 2,000 days. You don't want to hear those numbers. Those are not important or relevant numbers because we don't understand what he's done for the club and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what he's done for the club, he's fucked up every year.
And we've wasted. I said to people, we kind of wasted 6 years because look, at Ancelotti was a free agent when we signed this guy.
Yep,
went to Everton, obviously. And you give Ancelotti this time and money, not even that much money, not as much money, or as much time.
Ancelotti would be working on a second Premier League if you gave him this long with that amount of money. He'd be working on a second, possibly third Premier League in 6 years if you gave Ancelotti that amount of money.
Especially with last season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Rob. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's all it is. It's all fucking bullshit. And if we get knocked out to Leverkusen, it's going to be absolutely insanity because if we get knocked out to Leverkusen, because this is what I'm worried about. If we go full team again, do the same thing, we lose to Leverkusen, we're not only putting a full team out there that we know is going to play shit football and may not even get a win. On top of it, it's less days to go to play City for the League Cup final. Because if we lose this League Cup final, I'm not confident that we're going to hold on to this league. I'm not confident it's going to happen.
Imagine that performance at Wembley. I mean, I feel for people going. If that's what the team is going to serve up on the day against City in the Carabao Cup, I feel for the fans because that's going to be a horrendous watch. Yep. I mean, the rest of this season is going to be a horrendous watch anyway.
Oh yeah, we're prepared to be the shittiest football of all time to try to shithouse their way to a Premier League trophy. What did you make of the penalty? Did you think it was a penalty?
What, the Madueke thing? Yeah. Oh God, no way, not for me. But there's so many people defending it. I was just perusing Twitter before I come on here. The amount of Arsenal fans defending this is so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, man. If that's you can actually see it's just before. You can actually see there's a point where Madueke starts to land. He can just land and keep running. It's not knocked him off balance. He's in complete control. But instead, he chooses clearly to hang his leg and go down. And I don't blame the referee because in real time it's difficult to see, right? But as soon as it went to VAR and as soon as I saw the first replay, I thought to myself, I just presumed it would get waved off, it would get chalked off because it looked so obvious to me. And then I'm seeing him give it, and I'm like, quite quickly as well. And I'm like, oh shit, because I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Germans, do you know what I mean? I don't want to go out to the German team. Fuck that. So you think I care? But it's just like, I mean, it's just ridiculous, especially when we get told the referees are against us. Do you know what I mean? But then they'll say it's the Premier League referees that are against us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's always a new
not FIFA. FIFA all right, but it's the league that are against us.
After that performance against Bayer Leverkusen, I'll be honest with you, I don't care if it's Atletico or Barcelona. We're not beating either one of those teams if we play like this. The way Atletico Madrid was able to counterattack and hit Spurs. Lookman, fuck Lookman. Griezmann's going to have a field day. Griezmann's going to have a field day against that team. Griezmann and Julian Alvarez, they'll have a field day with our team. Field day.
They got mad momentum at the moment. This is, and obviously you'll be told that if we did get through, if we get through and we somehow get through against what looks like Bodo, I mean, like we will be told that we beat Atleti 4-1 in the group stage, and it's going to be a war. People are just, it's so frustrating how people. It's such a simple thing to understand that there's a difference between playing a group stage match and a semi-final of the Champions League. But they'll all be saying, "Oh, it's a doddle because we beat them before." And it's such a different Atleti. Never mind the timing of it; it's a different Atleti team now as well.
It's the
a
same
completely
thing like it
different
was with PSG last year.
Well,
Same
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah,
like
they even
PSG
have
last
that
year.
example there.
Yeah, exactly. PSG barely gets in. They get Vara, new team, smoke everybody. They got a new team as soon as they got Vara, and they smoked everybody. Quadra, for you, did you think it was a penalty?
I was like, before the replay, I thought it looked like a dive. But when you look at the replay, Martin Keown was like, it was a penalty because the Leverkusen player touched Madueke's knee, and that's when he went down. And I look at it, it looks soft, and I understand why people say it's not a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty, but in the modern days, in modern football, big up Rob as always. And you look at right now, soft penalties will be given from now on. If you see a soft penalty will be given. That's how bad football's been right now, Gianni. More soft penalties being given.
I think it was a soft penalty. You want to go down a conspiracy theorist route here. I think they gave that penalty because UEFA's scared that they're going to lose a lot of ratings if all the Premier League teams go out.
Yeah, but apparently by Leverkusen robbed. Apparently everyone's now going to talk about Arsenal robbed because Andrik should have been sent off. He should have had 2 yellow cards.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You know what? They were trying to hype that up too. And how many times I've seen so many games where a guy gets a yellow card and the referee gives him the benefit of the doubt on the next foul before he gives him a second yellow. What are we doing here, dude? And that's the thing. If we're talking about we were robbed against Leverkusen because the goal scorer should have got a red card because of that, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah, exactly. It's nothing but bullshit. Big up Black Crow for jumping in. It's all nonsense. Yep. Brian, you're right. Rodri and Ignori did dodge getting sent off in this game. And if it wasn't for Donnarumma making saves, it would have been even worse. But no, it's absolute nonsense. And the sad thing is, are we really going to see any changes to the squad going up against Everton?
No, I think it's going to be the same team, mate.
Huh?
It's going to be the same team. He's going to still pick Zubimendi, play Saka. Mikalenko will have him in his pocket. I mean, it's going to be the same old sideways football. I mean, the way we defended that corner today was an absolute disgrace. How on earth did nobody realize that Andrik was at the back post? Not even Saliba or Eze try and look behind. Someone will go like, someone, please help me. Someone, go out there, please stop him. They scored. I'm like, where's the defending? And this Nikola Jova guy, do you actually work on the set pieces? Do you not practice set pieces? Try and do 5-a-side team and practice how to defend set pieces? Because I don't think Nicolas Jova is focusing on defending set pieces. I think Nicolas Jova is comfortable with the corner kicks against us. But look what happened. They scored. What do we do after that? We just slowed it down, slowed the game down. And this is the problem when you have Zubimendi in midfield. He's slow. He can't do it quickly. He can't move the ball quickly. If you had Mars Lewis-Skelly in midfield, that would be a proper midfield because he's good at carrying the ball. He can drive the ball forward because he's got better dribbling than Zubimendi. But I just don't get why people overhype Zubimendi for some reason. I watch Zubimendi. He's just boring to watch. I'm sorry, Gianni. He's just a boring footballer to watch.
No, for me, the fact that Zubimendi is the fact that it's even gotten leaked out that Zubimendi isn't opposed to go back to Spain after 1 year, get rid of his ass. Get rid of his ass.
I'll tell him right now, bro. The guy's been a liability since he's been here.
Yeah. That's the whole reason why the Tonali talk has started about us getting Tonali in the summer, because there's talk that Zubimendi's open to go back to Spain after 1 year. It's like, brother, you were the biggest talking point last season once we knew that we weren't winning the league and Liverpool ran away with it. We were linked. We were told by that fucking hand job, Fabrizio Romano, that fucking we're gonna get Zubimendi. The deal's done. Blah blah blah. We made such a big stink. Oh, we're getting Zubimendi. We're winning the league, brother. If you're already talking about going back to Spain after 1 year, fuck off. Fuck off.
What is that?
Like you said, he's been shit. He's
Is it
been good.
rail?
He's actually been good scoring goals and going up, but as a 6, he's terrible. I'm sorry. This game against Leverkusen proved that Declan Rice needs to be the 6 from now on. Declan Rice going forward is a lost fucking cause. He's a lost cause. Sit him back, protect the center backs. And like I said, Dalman should be left wing, Madueke should be right wing, and Lewis Skelly should be the center mid, the other number 8 coming into this game. And it's an indictment on this manager and this entire fucking project because of the fact that now we're relying on the kids to come back because your starting 11 is dog shit. It's ridiculous.
Indictment on the Saka situation, isn't it, as well? I mean, fucking hell, what a
He
game.
should have never got that contract, man. He should have never got that fucking contract.
Oh, it's always the way. It's like a football like rule, isn't it? Where like whenever they get, as soon as they get a big contract, it all goes to shit. It's like a law of the football universe, isn't it? As soon as he got that, I was like, oh great, we know what's coming. Especially in the context of the grade 3 hammy and him being pretty much done at 24. It's really sad as well, see, from like an English fan's perspective. You wanted to see him do well,
especially with the World Cup coming up.
It's really just ridiculous. Like a player like that, especially as players play longer these days, the player like that should have so many more years ahead of him, like in that position. And just fucking hell, man, what's he going to be like by the time? Imagine what him and Rice will be like after the World Cup coming back in August. I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Yep. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Macy, what I guess my question to you is this. After this game with Bayer Leverkusen, obviously right now it's going to be a tall order for Sporting to come back from Bodo Glimt. And Bodo Glimt looks like they're the Cinderella story this year. Are you confident that we're even going to make the finals after this game? Because I'll tell you what, Atletico Barca is going to give us everything that we're looking for. All the smoke that these top Gooners are talking about, they're going to give us everything and more than what we're looking for after this performance. Because Timber, if you thought it was a long day against Grimaldo, what's Timber going to do against Lookman? What's Timber going to do against Rafinha?
Mm-hmm.
You know, contact is everything because, yeah, you never know. Somebody could get hurt. But at the end of the day, this is Leverkusen. This ain't Atletico or Barcelona. And we look this fucking bad that we had to scam a win. Like, what are you thinking, man? You think we may not even get to the finals?
Well, it depends, Gianni, because if we play like that today, the same today against Leverkusen, then I'm sorry, we're not going to make nothing because we have to start like next week is a tough. In the second leg, we have to beat Leverkusen because all these fan base want to come out and say that, oh, we want to play Barcelona. Well, this is your chance. Right. Swipe out Leverkusen, then find out if we can get either Sporting or Bodo Glimt, beat them, and then we'll see if you can get to either Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. But until then, shut your fucking mouths and perform. Because every time I see this robotic bullshit of football, I'm sorry, this is not what we're supposed to play. We need to be playing attacking football. But this manager thinks that this robotic like style is going to suit us. But in reality, it's not. So from now on, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli need to hold bench until we can figure out what to do with them this summer. Because for me, both of them, they're just not good enough for us. We need to move these guys on in the summer. Jesus and Havertz have to go as well. So we have to start obliterating teams because not only do we have Leverkusen, we've got Everton coming up on Saturday, and that is going to be a big worry for me because Everton, they're going to do the same thing that Leverkusen did to us today, and that's like get a goal and then retreat back and copy what we're doing. So from now on, we've got to start taking every cup game seriously because we have just approached we are in the crunch end of the season now. We're in March. So we have to win every game, Gianni, because if we fuck around and we play this robotics shitty football, then I'm sorry, we're not winning nothing. And Man City, by the time we face them in the League Cup final, Man City will destroy us. Even though they got swiped by Real Madrid today, they'll turn up at the League Cup final and then Pep will be rubbing his hands and he will put our manager out of his misery and get that League Cup. Because even though Man City got their asses kicked by Real Madrid, Pep is just going to sit there and say, you know what? I don't care about the Champions League. I only want to focus on the major cups, and that's the Premier League and the League Cup. This is what he'll say in his press conference. Because Pep, even though Pep sometimes can be a bit of like, he can get things fucked around in his mind, he still has plan B on his, like he still has plan B on his head, because he is a clever tactician, because he knows what it takes to win a trophy. So from now on, we have to start taking every cup game seriously, and we need to beat Leverkusen in the second leg if we want to get to facing Barcelona or Atletico. And then after that, we've got Bodo Glimt or Sporting Lisbon, and we've just seen Bodo Glimt destroy Sporting, so it looks like we'll face them. And I'm worried now, because Bodo Glimt, they're absolutely destroying like the big teams in the Champions League. We saw what they did to Inter Milan. They wiped them out 3-1. So I'm worried that if they do the same thing to us, then we can kiss our Champions League. We can kiss our hopes of facing Barcelona goodbye.
Yep. Rob, what do you?
This Bodo team, like they pass the ball around so well. They're so slick. And it's like, you can imagine the way we're playing going up a team that does that. I mean, we have problems with teams who can knock it about a bit. And
it's the preseason. These guys are all fresh.
Yes, of course it will be. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Forgot about that. Fucking hell. Christ. That Everton game.
We looked dead on our feet.
Well, I think this is, but what's one of the big reasons for the performances like that. But I think they've been dead for a long time, dead on their feet a long time this season.
Yep.
But yeah, it's, and you can't get that back. That's the problem. Like, it's not something you can just sort of turn around in a couple of weeks, or like, because people, rest someone for a game, but that's really only not even a week, or maybe a week maximum. That's not going to offset the weeks and weeks of being flogged. So when people say we need to go to Dubai for a week, yeah, okay, cool, that would have been all right, but just 1 week away is not gonna counterbalance all the shit that's gone on before for the last few months and stuff. So I think this Everton game, by the way, is just going to be more of the same, and I think it's going to be, I think it's got kind of a set piece, ole own goals sort of thing written all over it. I don't think I think there's a bit of a conflation sometimes when people talk about the set pieces and how we're winning by set pieces. I think it's just the fact that we're scamming games. We're just kind of like, we're nicking games a lot. And yeah, that has happened a bit more with like corners and set pieces this season. But I think it's just more the fact that we just keep getting away with things and scamming games, and people are noticing the odd corner and whatnot here and there more than other teams. But the point is more that we just keep getting away with it. And we've been saying it's going to be unsustainable for a while, and we've still sustained it. But are we getting to the point now, with 2 months left, where it just can't go on? And it's unfortunately looking like it, isn't it?
Agreed. And to say it, and if he capitulates this is going to be the worst year out of all of them. This would be the worst one out of all of them. For another, what's it? We spent over another $250 million of pounds this summer transfer window, when everyone said, oh, we were light last year, give him the squad and a striker, he'll win. Bro, if he throws this fucking league away, I'll be done. Because I've said from the beginning, I don't think we're winning the Champions League. I've said that from the beginning of the season. The Champions League, I'm looking at Arsenal the same way that Chelsea and City won their Champions Leagues. They had to win titles year in and year out to build that foundation of learning how to win before you go off and win the Champions League. Arsenal, with no experience of winning a title with this team under this manager, you're not going to convince me that this team's going to go on to win, especially not playing this bullshit. That guy, Alex Garcia, was running the whole midfield. Can you imagine what's going to happen if Pedri does that to us?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You can see it coming. You can just see it coming. It's just a matter of when, isn't it? That's the thing. But even I thought we would do all right against Leverkusen. I thought we would be okay.
Yeah,
I thought it's going to be one of our more comfortable games coming up in the next few games. But it turns out it's one of the worst performances like I can remember for a while in around the 16 game from us. So Jesus Christ, man.
No league, no UCL, but FA in Cambodia. And I'm guessing you meant to say the Premier League. Listen, if he doesn't win the Premier League or
Carabao,
the
maybe?
Champions League, he's got to go. I don't care if he does a League Cup double this year. If he does a domestic cup double, he's got to fucking go. I'm sorry. I don't care if he wins the League Cup and the FA Cup. You got to fucking go. You bottle this league. The league is mandatory this year. The league title is mandatory this year. I don't care if you win the fucking 2 domestic cups. That's not enough after $1 billion being spent, man. I'm sorry. Not enough for me.
No, 100%.
If you'd have won the league last year and you did a domestic cup double this year and bottled the league, I could deal with you for 1 more year because you've already got us over the line in the league. Not now. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, everyone's saying either way he needs to go.
I can't face the idea of starting next season with him still in charge if he bottles everything this season and playing this kind of football. I don't know what I supported Arsenal since 1993. Honestly, I would never have gone in. If that happens, if we go into the next season with him having not won anything this season, it'll be the worst I've ever felt going into a season supporting Arsenal that I can remember, even in like the sort of the non-peak Wenger days, the worst Wenger days. And even when we were like in 1995, we finished 12th, Naeem from the halfway line days. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do. Like if you say, oh God, and if they even on top of that announce like a contract extension, because he is up for renewal, isn't he? You know, next year is his last year, and we haven't heard anything yet, which makes me worry that there's something on the table. They're just waiting because we know this club does this. They time their announcements, they get them done, and they time them in certain ways to appease people. But I just wonder if it's there in the background, and it's like, oh dear, I don't know. I don't want to put that energy out there into the universe, please. But you know, I think they're waiting for him to win the league and then announce the extension. Basically, I think
that's exactly what's happening. If he wins the league, then they'll announce the extension. If he doesn't win the league, I don't think Berta keeps him. Because I'll be honest with you, if Atletico Madrid wins nothing, if they bottle the Copa del Rey, I could very well see Simeone getting slotted in and Berta just calling him like, "Yo, we need you over here. The team's set up great defensively. If you want to set up defensively and do the same thing that you did with Atleti like this year, play a 4-4-2 and have free-flowing wingers and strikers, I could definitely see them calling him. Me personally, I don't want Simeone. If we don't win this league this year, there's only one guy I'm calling. I'm calling Ancelotti. You gave Arteta 15, throw 20 million at him. Throw 20 million at him, give him 100 million to spend, give him a fucking true left winger, because left wing, we're dying for one. We're dying for a left wing.
Dry, so dry.
So it's so bad. Again, Trossard, what was Trossard? How much did we buy him for? 28 million?
30 something, 35
around 30 million. Okay, 30 million for him. Martinelli was 7 million. I know we got him for cheap because he was young, because we got him under Emery. So combined 37 million, 6 years later, nothing to fucking show for it. And now we need a 16-year-old to bail us out. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's still fans who are defending him as well. It's defending like keeping Martinelli. And by the way, I was just going to say, I was just looking at Twitter. Listen to this tweet from an Arsenal fan. Yeah, it's not trolling. Yeah, he's put, "We are the only Big Six team to not lose on opening knockout night. We're massive." And it's not a troll. I've checked his thing. It's not trolling. This is the level of delusion you're dealing with, man. It's just craziness. They're like mentally treatable. They're like medically treatable for actual mental delusion.
Dude, I don't get where these guys come up with this shit. I don't get where they come up with this shit. Is it
it's
really
when you find out that they're not trolls and they're not bots, and you realize that they're actually real. Because some comments, obviously, those are bots and stuff, but a lot of these people are real people, and I meet them. I've met people like this. Like I'm quite close to Finsbury Park. I'm in North London, and I've met people like this around here. You know, I met them in the gym. I met them in bars and stuff. And then you have to be a little bit careful. Basically, one of the things that's really pissed me off about this whole Arteta sort of like era as such is that we used to be a respected fan base. Now, when I meet people, because of all of our delusional fans,
we're the most hated fan base.
We're the most they just assume as soon as they hear you're an Arsenal fan that you're an idiot. You see the look in their faces, the look in their eyes. You can tell they don't need to say anything. You know what they're thinking. And you have to have a conversation with them for a bit to then sort of demonstrate that you're not a complete fucking idiot. And it's like, it's just so jarring. Like I've seen this multiple times that people like, And everyone comments to me like, you're the most delusional fan base. They ask me questions. They're like, do you think Saka's world class? Do you think Arteta's better than Emery? Blah, blah, blah. So these are people, these are 3D people out there. It's not just an online thing. There's actually people out there, and it's fucking craziness, man. Honestly, this club is, the face of this club has changed so much in the last 2 decades. It is mad. I tell you, I was lucky to come down to London for a few years. I was born in Yorkshire. I came down here when I was about 19. Luckily, I had a few years at Highbury, and got to see a few games and got to see the Invincible season, obviously, and before it became what it's become now. It's kind of a shame, really.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the fact that someone even has the gall to say that. You're playing Leverkusen. This is where I can't stand. This is where I can't stand a lot of this Arsenal fan base. Is it's always, the goalpost is always moved, right? Everybody, oh, Leverkusen's easy, Farmers League. Then all of a sudden we put out that performance. Oh, we're the best team out of the big six because we're the only ones that didn't lose. Bro, we got lucky, man. I'm sorry. We got lucky with that. We got lucky with that fucking tie today. We got lucky. We caught life because of that penalty. And again, it's the manager. We shouldn't have pulled any punches. But again, I mean, fuck. Martinelli, Saka, get the ball. You run past midfield. All of a sudden you stop to pass the ball backwards. Why? Why?
Oh, you see it so often. And this is what annoyed me when they said about Odegaard on the commentary. I was like, but that's the sort of thing Odegaard does. He doesn't play passes forward. He plays backward. The amount of times when he plays that I sort of say to the screen, I'm like, forward, pass forward. And then it goes back to Saliba or it goes back to Timber or something like this. It's just unbelievable, honestly.
Waffle, if you
we
want
don't have people who take the game by the scruff of the neck either. That's the thing.
What were you saying, Rob? Sorry about that.
Sorry, I was just saying as well, just one thing I was thinking when I was watching today's game. If Rice doesn't do it, we don't have anyone taking a game by the scruff of the neck. Even Odegaard, obviously, when he plays, doesn't do that. Eze hasn't been doing that. Rice will, but at the moment, he looks half fucked, if not 3/4 or fully fucked, and he's not able to do it as well. Who else is doing this?
But that's the problem. That's not even his job. He should be the sixth. He should be the sixth. I don't know how many more. Again, the kid was a 19-year-old. The guy, Patrick Schick, was on the bench because he had an injury. Patrick Schick's been one of the best strikers in the Bundesliga for the last few years. So what happens if he's healthy the next game? Because like I said, Saliba's been hurt since the Liverpool game at the beginning of the season. Nobody can convince me otherwise that Saliba hasn't been nursing an injury the whole season. Gabriel Magalhaes, if you remember, I believe, didn't he also have a grade 3 hamstring at the end of the season last year? Or something similar to that? I believe he had a hamstring injury, maybe not grade 3, but he was supposed to miss the first couple of games. Like, these guys are the walking wounded. This is ridiculous. Yet, Waffle, Dalman needs to be the starting left winger for the rest of the season. He needs to be the starting left winger for the rest of the season. I don't care anymore. People talking about, oh, we can't experiment now and everything. Brother, you got to experiment. That was a fucking disgraceful performance.
It was a disgraceful performance, mate. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, imagine getting 90 minutes for that. If you subbed off Saka, sub off Martinelli as well, because them two were the two worst players on that pitch. I was watching them. It was just a boring game. They're both predictable. They're boring to watch. Zubimendi should be subbed off as well. He won great as well. He was boring to watch.
They should have all came off at halftime. Yeah.
Why didn't Lewis Skelly not get minutes in midfield? That's a proper midfielder that we have. That I'm like, Lewis Skelly not getting minutes. Where's Dalman's minutes? Like, I'm sorry, bro, but that midfield is getting exposed a lot of time, too many times, and that's the problem. You have Rice playing box to box. That's down to the manager, by the way. That's the manager for telling him to play box to box. But he's not a box to box. He's a defensive midfield player. Like what you said, Gianni, he's like a number 4 doing all the defensive and the dirty work. Mm-hmm. That's what he is, just doing all the defensive work, right?
And that teenager, real quick, Kwaja, that teenager, that striker, would not have been doing what he was doing against Saliba and Gabriel if Rice is sitting back there helping to protect them. You clean the ball up easy and put it right back forward and keep the attack going.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, Lewis Skelly is brave in midfield. He's a better ball carrier than Zubamendi. He can dribble past players. I watch Zubamendi, bro. I just don't get why Arteta plays him. Like, you've just wasted 60 million on Zubamendi. He's not even been an upgrade on Thomas Partey. If Thomas Partey still played, he would run that midfield properly. He would get the ball and drive the ball forward. But Zubamendi would never. And that's the problem, right? We were very fortunate to get out there with a draw. If we had defended that corner properly and we won that game, I would have gone, okay, fine, we got a 1-0. We could have improved, but we'll take it and move on. But no, we're still in a situation now, whereas that home game next week is a huge game for us that we have to take it seriously before the Carabao Cup final, right? We need to go out there and get a win to get that confidence for the Carabao Cup final, because I know that Manchester City may be knocked out of the Champions League, and I think that Pep might rotate and go, right, that Carabao Cup final is going to be huge for us. By the big up Waffle down as always. I think what you said about Pep rotating for the Carabao Cup final, I think he can do that. I think he's shown Arteta how to rotate. The reason why we're getting the too many injuries is down to the lack of rotation that this manager is doing. He's bringing on Timber, Saka to win you games against Mansfield Town. Pep don't do that. He'll bring on youngsters to win the game. We don't have a manager that's going to actually. We don't have a manager that's capable of, getting us over the line, rotating fully. He just doesn't rotate fully. That's why injury is going to happen. I'm like, why did you not try out 3 at the back, take a defender for an attacker and continue attacking? Try that. Like, take off a defender, play a back 3 and bring on an attacker to win the game. He's always playing defensive. You can't play like that. When you're trying to win the game, you cannot be defensive. Like, Saka's producing stinkers after stinkers. I'm like, why did these top gooners just not call him out? But it's family, it's togetherness.
Oh, because he's the new captain. He's the new captain.
Yeah.
Once Odegaard goes this year, Saka's the new captain. He's already showing it right now. He's already showing it right now that Saka's the new captain, especially with the wage increase and everything else. He has to give him the captaincy. Waffle, what did you make of this game, man? What did you make of the game?
Do you really want my honest opinion, or do you want me to sugarcoat it?
No, brother, you know me. We don't sugarcoat nothing over here. I want the full honest opinion. But that was a fucking disgrace.
For me, yeah, exactly. For me, it was prima donnas thinking they can just turn up and win a game. The fans, even thought this would be like a 3-0, 2-0, whatever. We thought we could just turn up and win this game today. Players were embarrassing from minute 1 to minute 90. Apart from the Martinelli shot that hit the crossbar, we didn't do anything. I can't understand how Saka is such a poor dribbler. This guy, when he's up against a good player like a Grimaldo, who's one of the...
Grimaldo taught him the ball was rounded, not square today. He was looking embarrassed. Timber was so embarrassed by Grimaldo, he had to Arteta put him in the box to go attack more because he knew he was useless defensively. It was a fucking shit show. It was a fucking shit show.
Terrible, mate. Seriously. And, just this Rice and Zubamendi pairing at times, yeah. I don't know why the manager just doesn't it's not working. Take one of them off, maybe bring on Havertz or something, or just an attacking midfielder or something, yeah? Someone that plays the ball forward, because Zubamendi, man, this guy plays every single game, yeah? And he's never accountable. He's never taken off. He's always playing. Rice is well for me, and someone said it, he's not an 8. He's not an 8. He can't navigate in small spaces. He can't pass the ball like a Valverde, like a Pedri, like a whoever. He just can't do that. So why does this manager persist with Rice? Put him in front of the back 4, yeah, and let everyone else play, because that midfield got overrun today. We can't.
And Waffle, what we were saying earlier when Rob brought up the problems with the midfield. All the games that we've lost, the teams have overloaded the midfield. Leverkusen didn't do that today. They kept their 2 guys. Andrik, we can say whatever we want about Andrik. He marked Gyökeres out of the fucking game.
Yep.
And it's also because, once again, the wingers are too far back and there's not enough offense or creativity to get Gyökeres into the game. Again, we know the guy cannot fucking touch the ball. He's terrible on the ball. He's a fox in the box. Put the ball in the box and let him fucking score. Why are the fullbacks still further up the pitch than the fucking wingers when we're trying to play out from the back? There was a stat that somebody put out. I think it's Saliba and Magalhaes are two of the top 5 players in the Premier League with the most amount of passes and touches the whole season. Why the fuck are your defenders touching the ball more than your midfield?
It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
And I'll be honest with you, we got lucky with that fucking penalty. And you know what? Big up to Madueke as a fan. Big up to Madueke for milking it to get that fucking penalty, because he could have landed. He could have landed and kept it and shot it, but he went down for it. And you know what? You sold him and you got us a draw. So I will give you congrats for that, but it was a soft penalty. Go ahead, Macy.
Yeah, and also about the penalty, when Kai Havertz scored, why the fuck didn't he get the ball and run back to the halfway line? Arteta was telling him, get the ball and fucking run back. But what did that German giraffe do? He was just doing this, like, what do I do? What am I doing? Like, he was doing all of this fucking shit. And the manager, Arteta, even though I hate Arteta, he blatantly told him, get the ball and run back. Run back. There's still 5 or 4 minutes to get a winner. But this German giraffe does some sort of like, what do I do next? What do I do? Like, I'm sick and tired of this giraffe. Why is what? I just don't understand. Why did we bring him on for Gyökeres? Gyökeres should have stayed on the field, because if we took Saka off and brought Madueke on, put Madueke on the left and put somebody on the right, Dauman
needs to be on the left. I'm sorry. Madueke, I don't like him. I never wanted him, but he's earned the starting spot now. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck.
I don't like him as well.
He did more than Saka throughout the whole game, mate. Let's be real. He came on and did more than Saka.
Especially, and this is the other thing, we're talking about rotation. If Saka's having a bad game, we all know Saka's starting against Everton. We all know this. If Saka's having a bad game, why the fuck don't you take him off the halfway and give him a breather?
Well, because Arteta,
Miles Lewis Skelly, Waffle. Remember, we had this conversation with Tony.
Yep.
He said you can't experiment now. Miles Lewis Skelly should have been on at halftime for fucking Zubamendi. Lewis Skelly, Dauman, and Madueke should have all been on at halftime.
When needs a must, isn't it? You know, it's
everyone's saying it's all about getting the points now, and it's all about getting the wins, right? Well, now what's the excuse now? Rob showed it on Twitter that some fucking moron saying that we're the reason why we're the best team in England is because we're the only team that didn't lose in this round from England. And to add on top of that, and I'm going to keep saying this, notice now, these referees in Europe are not allowing this bullshit with the corner kicks that are going on with the Premier League. Ever since these refs have stopped doing this shit, all the Premier League teams are getting exposed. Chelsea got smoked today. Real Madrid smoked Manchester City when half their team is fucking injured. Atletico was dancing salsa all over fucking Spurs. Spurs was lucky that they got 2 goals in that fucking game. It should have been a 5-0. It's embarrassing. And like I said, the fact that we need 2 youngsters and a kid that couldn't even break the starting 11 for Chelsea need to be the new people to go forward to even create is an indictment on this entire situation. £1 billion spent, and we need a 16-year-old to help us out. It's bullshit.
And we need to get rid of a lot of players. So 7 years in,
I can name 10 players that got to leave. I can name 10 players that got to leave this team if we were a serious fucking club. 10 players I could name.
Another thing I want to say as well, big up to Jarrell Quansah, by the way. Do you guys remember Quansah?
Yeah, he did play good.
He absolutely locked up Saka today. Big up to him. And all you fan base morons said that, oh, Quansah's nobody. We should deal with him. Did you see what he did? He was locking up Saka. Where's your star boy, Love now? Star boy's finished. He's no longer star boy. He's 25 now. And remember, I said it before, he will be dusted by 26 years old. You don't believe me? Look at Michael Owen. He was dusted at 26. Saka's birthday is coming up like in around a few weeks, and when he turns 26, he will be in the same position as Michael Owen was.
If we were to win the league, let me give you a scenario. If we were to still pull off the league, because I still think as of right now, I think as sad as this is going to be to say, if we get knocked out of the Champions League, whether it's by Leverkusen or whether it's by, if something crazy happens and we get knocked out by Bodo Glimt, if we get knocked out, I'm actually kind of happy because now it's less games for this team because this manager is not rotating. We all know this same starting 11's getting thrown out against Everton. We all know this. And the sad reality is, like I said, I don't care if we're competing in all four. I've said from the beginning, we're not winning the Champions League. And I'm sorry, this performance, all these top Gooners were talking about, they want revenge against Barcelona. Brother, if Pedri's given the same amount of time on the ball that Alex Garcia was, Pedri's going to teach all top Gooners, every fan in that fucking stadium, both home and away, that the ball's round and not square. What do you think Yamal's going to do? Yeah, he had a shit game against Lewis Hall. Everybody's due for a fuck up. Everybody's due for a fuck up game. What if Timber couldn't handle Grimaldo? What's Timber going to do if Rafinha hits back into form? Because Rafinha's been out of form, as Javi was telling me. Rafinha hasn't been up to par since he's come back from his injury. But what happens if he gets up to form? They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. And like I said, a 19-year-old striker gave Saliba and Magalhaes everything they were looking for. Again, another inexperienced striker is giving these guys problems because these guys are tired. Rice needs to be the 6 to protect these guys. You need a back line of 3. Because again, let's say Atletico meets us in the semifinal. Guess what? It's the same scenario as it was with PSG. That ain't the same Atletico team from the group stages. Timber had a problem against Grimaldo. What's going to happen if Timber gets fucking Lookman with the way Lookman's been playing? What happens if their midfield and defense is getting that same counterattack that Spurs had to deal with Atletico? Brother, it's a different ball game. Different fucking ball game. If they're having a problem with an inexperienced 19-year-old, what the fuck is Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann going to do to these guys? It's nonsense, bro. It's fucking nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. It's absolute fucking bullshit. It's absolute freaking bullshit. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Raya, for me, Noni's got to get player of the game because he got the penalty. But I'll tell you something. Raya saved our ass.
A header. What a save.
Another great, that dude, that's why I say Raya, if the manager would stop with this nonsense of him needing to be so far out of his box, there's no problem with Raya in this team because he's been making highlight reel saves all fucking year, saving our ass. Because if that header goes in, it's over with.
The only thing about Raya, I just feel he's always got a little thing in him, hasn't he? He's always got a little mistake in him.
But is it down to him or the manager telling him to come out of the box?
Well, which is what I was going to say. Did you see there was a point in, I think, the first half where he was almost at the halfway line? It got a little bit dodgy.
Yeah.
It got a bit dodgy. It was okay. It was kind of, we managed it, but I mean, that could have gone a lot worse. And you think,
but that was Saliba's fault. That was Saliba's fault because he didn't get a grip of the ball, did he? He kind of missed the ball. Yep. And then it came to the player, and the player tried to kick the ball.
And again, it's the 19-year-old. What happens? Yeah. What happens if they rest Schick and Schick's fully healthy and ready to go for the second leg? Schick's been one of the best strikers in Europe for the last few years, let alone the Bundesliga. That's a different story if you got an experienced striker like that.
Is he playing next game or is he out?
They sat him out. What the announcer was saying was that he was resting because they want to see if he's going to play the Bundesliga. If they don't, they're going to rest him and he should be playing the second leg.
Okay, so do you think at home, though, we'll be a different type of animal at home?
We should, in theory, but I mean, the better question is, playing at home, is that really going to make the difference for Saka and Martinelli? I mean, I said this earlier. This is Martinelli now after this game. Martinelli's the new zigzag man. That's all he can do. That's all he did. That's all he did.
I think the Everton game is going to be like the Leverkusen game, the second leg. I think whatever because we're going to play the same team again, like you're saying, pretty much. And then I think it's going to be another similar performance. This is the way we play. This is our style of play. So I don't think it's going to be any different at the Emirates, really. It's up to Leverkusen whether they want to be a bit more adventurous, but we're going to play like that again.
Oh yeah,
basically.
You know the crazy thing as well, yeah. Martinelli, the first time Martinelli beat his man, he got the guy booked. We never take advantage of these bookings when they occur as well. For me, in my opinion, that guy who scored the goal should have been, I think he should have been sent off, but that's another argument for another day. And the corner, I don't think that defending from that their goal was disgraceful.
Yeah, Quadra was saying that earlier.
The whole world in his hands.
Yeah, and like I said, you know what the thing is? I'm not too upset that Andrich didn't get sent off because there's been plenty of times where referees give a player on a yellow that early the benefit of the doubt, and past that second foul, he was perfect because he didn't put any problems in. He didn't cause us any problems as far as committing fouls and shit. So we've seen plenty of games where that happens with players, but again, like you said, this is what I mean by common sense football. How many times have we seen City? City plays a shit team, whether it's Champions League or Premier League or whatever. If they get a fullback or a center back in trouble, they target him the rest of the game to get him out. Because then they know if you lose a defender this early, they're going to take out a midfielder or a striker or a winger and put another defensive person down. Now you're given free reign to just run the game. Because now they're just expecting to play counterattack. Why not attack these guys? Andrich is the middle defender of the three. Why aren't we feeding Gyökeres more passes directly in the middle to try to get contact with him and cause another foul?
It seems the most simple thing, doesn't it? I was thinking this earlier on in the season when we were seeing a little bit of a lack of link up with Gyökeres. I was thinking, surely on the training ground, don't they just do some like basic plays regard, whoever plays in midfield, whoever's playing the sort of 10 role, just don't they practice passing to Gyökeres? I mean, it looked like they didn't. For the most part of the season, it's looked like we've never practiced that. It's such a simple thing. It's not a difficult play. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Saliba tried one ball to pass to Gyökeres and it was prevented. Saliba managed to try put one ball to Gyökeres. What did Saka and Martinelli do? They didn't even pass the ball to Gyökeres. They don't want to pass. These players don't want to play for Gyökeres. That's the problem. Some of our players don't want to play for Gyökeres. If we take out Saka, put Madueke down the right wing, I think Gyökeres would do better. Madueke Eze suits Gyökeres. Saka Odegaard doesn't suit Gyökeres because Gyökeres does not like Saka and Odegaard. Because I remember in the Chelsea game, Saka should have put in the ball early. He didn't. Ben White did, and Gyökeres tapped it in. Now, this is the problem, right? Some of our players just don't want to play to his strengths. What is the point of these top gooners saying that we need a striker, yet you do not give him the strengths that he needs? And he does not get the service that he needs. That's the biggest worry that I have, right? That these wingers just want to be selfish. They just do what they just think they can do whatever they want. Well, you have a striker in the box.
Not only that, Quadra, but again, Eze. We brought Eze in because he creates. Again, I've never seen a good number. Here, let's play a history game here. And I'm not even going to choose the best. When Guti was at Real Madrid, how many times did you see Guti try to create within his own box? When Ozil was at Real Madrid, how many times did he try to create from within his own box, not being close to the striker? How many times did Di Maria do it? How many times? Here, we can even go in the Premier League. How many times did David Silva have to be in his own box to create? We're trying shit that don't fucking work.
Yeah, see that comment from Darren Sullivan?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not only is he too far deep, again, why is fucking Hincapié and Timber further up the pitch than Saka and Martinelli when we play out from the box? Why? Why is Timber is the best defensive right back in the world. Why are we taking him out of his best position? People are saying, oh, Timber can't defend. No, he can defend. He's just tired as fuck because he keeps having to go into the box the whole time, up and down the pitch for no reason. If you sat Timber back, swung him in, played a back line at 3, and had Rice sitting on top, you could tell the guys, do whatever the fuck you want going forward. Because we know nobody's scoring against us. Nobody would score on that. But we just overcomplicate this shit over and over and over again. I'm sorry. This weekend, if you want to throw the same team out there, fine. Go ahead. Try the same shit. Second leg of Leverkusen, I want Miles Lewis-Skelly, I want Dauman, and I want fucking Madueke to start and just let them run havoc on that team. Because Leverkusen showed that they couldn't handle the pace of Madueke and the creativity.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Madueke, even though...
Real quick, Rob. Waffle. Oh. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
I'm sorry about that, Rob. I was going to let.
Madueke, was it? We were talking about Madi, or is Martin Keown pronounces it for some reason Madiwaki? Not quite sure if
he owns a fucking hand job and a jag off. Fuck him.
He said it was definitely. I saw a quote from him about the penalty. He said it was definitely a penalty. His quote.
Yeah, just like Martin Odegaard, just as good as Liam Brady.
And other such nonsense that we
Another
hear
one
on
saying
the
Super Mendy, by the way.
Yeah,
and don't
Super
forget,
Mendy,
Lego Head in his post-match interview said that he was praising Arsenal's composure.
Yeah. Baron's got a question for thoughts on Saka. Baron, listen.
An interesting word to use.
Saka's going to fall into the same situation as Aubameyang and Ozil. Got a big ass fucking contract. He's been ran into the ground. Aubameyang played out of position. Ozil, I mean, for me, I think Ozil, the game passed him by because the old school number 10s are just not around anymore. They're not allowed the freedom the way they used to play. So Ozil, I think it was just the game passed him by. Saka, for me, the uncomfortable conversation is going to be that if we don't win a league this year and then we don't know what comes into next year, in 2 years, we're going to have a serious conversation that we need to take a loss on Saka with that fat ass contract. What do you guys think?
No, it's horrible.
I agree, Gianni. I mean, like you said, if we don't win this league and if we don't win any major trophy, then we need to start looking at the squad and look at this manager, because this manager will be the reason if we win something or if we fuck around or bottle something. Because remember, he's the one that's cost us many trophies in the past. And this year he is trying to make things right, but the cracks are starting to come in to this football club. And also, the Everton game on Saturday will decide if we're going to take this Premier League seriously. I just look at Everton's squad and they've got some strong centre backs. You see, they've got this big Irish defender, Jake O'Brien. This guy is absolutely big and he's gonna absolutely lock off Gyökeres or Havertz. Whether on either one of them starts that game, ain't no way they're gonna get past O'Brien. Because I'm telling you, this Jake O'Brien is some centre back. He's the tallest guy on the field, and it's going to be hard for any Arsenal player to outmuscle him or anything. But as I said before, we've got so many games coming up before the season comes to an end. We've got Everton this weekend, then we've got Leverkusen at the second leg, and I think now we need to start Dauman and Skelly. Because every time I see these two guys on the bench, I feel sorry for these guys. They must be thinking to themselves, why am I not getting an opportunity? This is my moment to show this manager that that I can bring something to the team. It's just the problem is Arteta doesn't trust these academy players. He only rates the players that he believes that can get him that Premier League title. But you need more than that. You need the academy players too, because where would they be? Like, if we don't win the Premier League, where are they gonna be? Are they gonna be with us? They're gonna sit there and say, you know what? I'm leaving to go and find a proper club. Because look at what happened to Ethan Nwaneri. The manager never used him, and look where he is now. He's balling out at Marseille with Aubameyang.
And there's talk they're gonna sell him.
Oh, I was going to say.
There's talk that Ethan's going to get sold because we're having PSR problems with FFP because the amount of spending and inability to sell players. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be fucking steaming if he gets sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said before, because if we sell Ethan, then this manager needs a proper choke, because he has absolutely ruined every single player that has come to this football club to show him what they're all about. If you don't believe me, I'll list the players that I've mentioned: Aubameyang, Pepe, Guendouzi, Torreira, all these players. Torreira's balling out, by the way, at Galatasaray. 1-0 they won against Liverpool. Did you see that? Torreira is balling out in 2026, and he showed Liverpool on how to midfield a match. Something our midfielders never do. But I'm not gonna get on Declan Rice today. He had a bit of a stinky game tonight, but he is still our one-man midfield because he has to do all of Zubimendi's work. Because Zubimendi is useless. I keep saying this. None of you fans watch La Liga, but you keep on saying, but Zubimendi's a good upgrade on Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Why didn't you watch him and why didn't you see his performances at Sociedad then? Because I have. Gianni might have analyzed his game at La Liga. Lee might have. Because we watch La Liga. We see what we see in these ballers. Because for me, like Zubimendi, as I said, he's good at going forward. But when it comes to like pressing out from the back, that guy gets easily outmaneuvered in midfield. So for me, he needs to hold bench. Zubimendi needs to hold bench for me, and I want to see Norgard start because we remembered our fan base said that Norgard is a sensible signing. So this is our opportunity to put Norgard in the team, because how can he be playing cup games but not play a single game in a major match like the Premier League or the Champions League, Gianni?
See, I would start Norgard against Everton and give Rice a rest and have Rice come back for the Leverkusen game.
If he does, it's going to be a physical game as well. I mean,
exactly.
to be honest with you, this little run up to the Man City game, like this sort of like, what is it? Everton. We had Chelsea, Brighton, and Everton, Bournemouth, and I think is it City after Bournemouth? I think it is, isn't it? Because there's an FA Cup game in there as well somewhere.
Yeah, we have after the Carabao Cup finals, the FA Cup, then Bournemouth. Yeah.
Because for me, I actually thought we'd beat Chelsea, Brighton, and drop points against Everton and or Bournemouth, just because two, physical, difficult, high-intensity games against Chelsea, Brighton, and then Everton with the way remember the game at the Hill Dickinson, how that went, and then with Bournemouth, remember the game at the Vitality and how that went. So, I mean, these are, I see top gooners online saying these are the easy points. And look, maybe I'm wrong and I'll jinx it, and not jinx it, but maybe I'll be wrong and we'll be 3-0 up at half-time. That'd be great. But they seem like, to me, it seems like, plus also, these are the games leading into the Man City game. So it's kind of like there's more pressure on them there. Plus there's added fatigue. I just feel these two games coming up are actually dodgier than some people might think. I know not us lot, but, a lot of people who have the blinders on still for Arteta, they might, they don't realise, what these could be. Like we were quite lucky against Bournemouth at the Vitality, and Everton, Moyes' team, it's going to be organised. It's going to be physical. Can this team how much longer can this team keep withstanding these physical games and getting away with winning and all this? Mm-hmm. That's my worry, basically.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for who was that fucking idiot defender for Everton that punched the ball in the box? Was that O'Brien?
It was Jacob O'Brien. He put his hand up in the air. Yeah.
If it wasn't for this stupid fucking penalty, we got lucky that Everton didn't get 2 calls in that game.
Yeah, it was a clear penalty, by the way, from Saliba. The Zubimendi one was clearly outside the box. It was a free kick, but the Saliba was definitely a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah. Exactly. Even though Jake O'Brien was responsible for that handball against us the last time we played them, I'm telling you, he's going to be fired up for that game because he might want to get his payback on us because
not only him, Ndiaye didn't play.
Yeah.
He was hurt for that game. He gets to play. He's playing this game unless he recently got hurt.
And Tiano Barry as well, even though I think he's the most underrated striker in Europe because they bought him from Villarreal. And but still, you can't, I understand Barry is overrated and he's not a very clinical striker, but if you give him that amount of space, he will back goals against you. And this is what I'm worried about at the weekend, because Everton, for me, I saw them put 3 past Newcastle at St. James's Park. Did you guys see that? They won 3-2 at St. James's Park. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing to us at the Emirates. So for me, we need to put Everton out of their misery. But am I confident we can do that? I'm a bit unsure about weekend's match.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Arsenal is that one game we look bad and the next game we look decent. That's the problem with us, is like one game we look decent, the next game we look bad. You just don't know. Sometimes we're predictable at
I
times.
wouldn't even say that, Quaja. I would say it's a half to half.
Yeah.
One half we look shit, the next half we look okay. We haven't put a full 90-minute performance in against any of these teams, whether it's Premier League, Champions League, League Cup, or FA Cup. We haven't put a 90-minute performance in the entire season.
That's the same with Man City. They were decent against Newcastle in the FA Cup, and then today they got absolutely destroyed by Real Madrid. But no doubt they're going to bring that aggressiveness back to West Ham at the weekend because because even though LB said that he wants West Ham to win that game, he also said that this is a must-win for Man City as well to keep the pressure on us.
Yeah, no, 100%. But see, here's the thing about City. Like I said, Pep, I would not be surprised if Pep says fuck it and puts a second team in for the second leg and goes full force for the Carabao Cup. Because again, it's the mentality thing that you have to worry about with Arsenal. Because here, if City put the second string players in against Real Madrid, and okay, they maybe win 1-0, because I don't think City's going and beating Real by 4 goals. I don't think that's happening. Not with the way they just played. Yeah, Courtois made some big saves to keep them out, but that back line with dealing with, they had Brahim Diaz and Vinny Jr. as the front two up top, and their back line looks like absolute shit. There's no way they're beating Madrid by 4 goals.
Yeah, the centre back partnership is overrated. Ruben Diaz is massively overrated. Stones is overrated.
And Valverde fucking made Mark Gahey his bitch this game. Did you see that flick?
I know.
I'm
sorry for Mark Gay because he's partnering up with somebody that has been at Man City for far too long and needs to be moved on this summer. I like Mark Gay.
I think Ruben Diaz has been overrated for a couple seasons.
I know. So this is why.
No, it's just because the Man City fans keep overhyping up.
Yeah.
They overhype John Stones. That Johnny, he was playing in midfield. Like, come on, bro. They're both overrated massively.
Stone's a better midfielder than he is a defender, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Of course, yeah. We saw that in the Champions League before when City won that competition.
Exactly.
Stones was at midfield, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, man.
City would have somewhat of a chance if they had a functional Haaland at the moment. I think that's the thing that we are benefiting from as well in the league. Can you imagine if Haaland was his usual self? Do you think that City would have drawn against Forest? Do you think they'd have dropped other points they've dropped in the past sort of like couple of months? Because he's been off it for quite a while now, to be fair.
And that's the thing. We've allowed them. Rob, this season should be over with. This league title should have been over with 2 games ago. The Wolves game should have been looked at as a mere bump in the road. We're still 12, 13 points clear. We should not be worrying about the league right now. We should be the league right now with what just happened in the Champions League. This should be looked at like this: is okay, we can go win this game. We've got the league pretty much wrapped up. We need to focus on the Champions League right now if we're going to go for 3 trophies. The fact of the matter is now we're starting to play this dicey game again of which trophy is more realistic that we need to go for. Because the scary thing is like we've said, if the same 11 plays the next 2 games in this compact fucking season, what happens if they're gassed against City and City does actually show up? Now you've lost the title. The team has once again not been able to win a title.
It's like a race against time, isn't it? It's a race against time to win the title before everyone drops dead, basically.
Exactly.
And like you say, it shouldn't have got to this point. We should be kind of like not this worried by now that the fact that players, there's only so many battles you can scrape through and keep winning the battles.
Exactly.
And at some point, we're going to stop winning, and it's whether we can get enough. It's whether we can get the title under our belt before we get to that point or not. I'm not convinced that we can do it. But at the same time, we got a 7-point lead. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm unhappy with that in of itself. Obviously, you would it's good to have a 7-point lead. Just contextually, I'm not seeing us smashing teams left, right, and centre, or even anything close to that, apart from Leeds, which was basically the exception to the rule. So, yeah, it's like I say, the next few weeks are going to be a difficult watch. Every single game I'm going into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a tough watch. If you ask some of the top Gooner types as well, like because they argue that, that we do play good football and that, we're not winging it and all this kind of stuff. So you say to them, well, think back across the season in the Premier League and pick me out your most enjoyed, the games where you've been most entertained, your most memorable games. Everyone says the same thing. The couple of games against Spurs and the game against Leeds, or both games against Leeds. That's two teams as well, by the way. And it's like, apart from that, like, I'm struggling after that. They might say, some of them have said to me the second half against Villa, which is fair enough. Okay, that's 2.5.
We haven't put a 90-minute performance together. We've been a tale of two halves. That's what Arsenal's been. And the second half of the Villa game, we looked good. That's because Onana went out injured. Onana ran the whole fucking game. And if Ollie Watkins had his shooting boots on in the first half, we'd have been down 3-0 at halftime in that second game.
And outside of them, what other game can you remember that really sticks out in your memory as a great performance? We smashed the team. I mean, we beat the 3-0 against Forest was decent. I mean,
Forest is probably the closest game of the season that was a complete performance, because even though we smashed Leeds at the beginning was still very shaky.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was a full performance. I think Forest is probably the closest one to a full performance, because some people try to say, oh, Liverpool at the beginning of the season. Sorry, man. We were good for a half against Liverpool at best. At best.
Yeah, that's even generous. Yeah.
The first game of the season, Manchester United should have ran us over. We weren't even in the first game of the season when that fucking bum Amarin was the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the signs were there straight away, and it didn't really change much from there. And this is kind of my point, that apart from the odd sporadic game like the Spurs games, and we know that Spurs are just it's going to be so. Do you know what? I was sat. What was it? After the other week, after the game again, what was their last league game? Sorry, that Spurs played. Remember what was their last league game that they played?
Crystal Palace.
3-1. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Thank you, man. So basically, after that, I remember sitting there after the game had finished, looking at the table. I was watching Views, and I remember looking at the table with Spurs on 29 points, Forest on 28, West Ham on 28. And I was like, this is a good evening. I'm enjoying this evening. I followed this club for 33 years. I've never in my life been in a season where there's as much chance as this of Spurs getting relegated, and we could win the title in the same season. It's quite a beautiful thing. And I was just sat back after that Palace game thinking, I'm just going to enjoy this moment and absorbing this moment of seeing their demise. Some people are saying that, I feel a bit sorry for them. And, I don't really want them to go down.
North London together, Rob. North London together. Do you remember North London together? Let's support them. So Man City, so we can win the league. Do you remember that?
Well, they fully deserve. How their fans were chatting back then with the Man City thing, they fully deserve what's happening now. It's just atrocious. And you still see interviews with them that they would rather us go down, and like some of the things they say is just so ridiculous. That they'd rather us go down than them win the title and stuff like this. It's just like, it's so dumb. They fully deserve it, and they can stay in the Championship for all I care. We could have a North London derby in the FA Cup, maybe. That'd be cool. If people miss the North London derby, there's still a chance of it. Carabao, FA Cup, fuck them.
Question for all you guys, right? If the refereeing continues this way, with the refs in Europe not allowing all the nonsense with the corner kicks that we've been seeing in the Premier League, do you think there's any chance of any Premier League team winning the Champions League? Because I don't.
Well, before the result, I would have said maybe Man City, but not after this result.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, I'm struggling.
I don't think. I think this is going to be such an indictment on the Premier League that if these referees are calling all this for these corner kicks, and that's what's showing the biggest difference right now with these teams, I think it's an indictment on the Premier League. It's an absolute indictment, because this is absolute nonsense, dude. Absolute nonsense. That if this is the reason why they're not winning is because of this fucking corner kick nonsense that we see in the Premier League. I mean, it then exposes the Premier League isn't as good as everybody's been saying. Because
And also, the Premier League.
Go ahead, Rob.
Sorry, I was just going to say, and also I think the Premier League will probably look at it as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they had a little look at it in the summer or something like that, and we see a new rule for the new season that there's some kind of calibration. You can't do that. Some kind of rule around corners. So it is a bit ridiculous. I mean, obviously we benefited from it. I'm not like massively against it. I'm not pro banning it because I just want to win titles. I don't really care. But at the same time, like, it is kind of laughable, some of the shit that they get away with these days. It's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, as long as we win the league, we can shithouse our way all the way to the league as far as I care. I just need to get us to win a league. If the only thing is, though, is the worry is, let's say the league changes the rules next year to where this can't happen. I'm not trusting Arteta to play a whole different brand of football next year if this gets outlawed in the Premier League.
Or you don't think Yoba's going to come up with some masterful genius plan to get around it? Some new plays that will get around it now?
That guy's a fucking hand job. I don't trust anything. That guy's, I'm sorry, he should be sacked for going over and fucking shaking hands with the coach and staff of Leverkusen during the game, man.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? These managers and coaches are weird. Last year they tried to say that PSG told them that we were the best team in Europe, even though we fucking lost. And now you do this stupid shit. It's like, dude, what are we doing here?
It's like some of our fan base, they were talking about we deserved to beat PSG based on XG, based on the more expected goals. That's what I've been told.
What, the one shot that Odegaard got off on Donnarumma?
I think that could be it. Maybe that could be the case.
That's the only shot that made any type of that fucking would have put us in the game against PSG. PSG dog walked us. Sorry if the goals don't fucking if the score line doesn't back up a blowout. They dog walked us. We were good for 30 minutes, and then we were lucky PSG didn't rip us apart because we were gassed. And to what you were saying, Rob, it's a run against time. It's a run against time. You have to get all these out, because you're worried these guys are just going to drop dead. That's why I said this Leverkusen game, we should have went into this with the mentality to win 4-5-0, to put the tie beyond all doubt. So
I honestly thought we would. I did a preview, like this is the first preview I'd done, like, because I just started like revamped this channel, started again. The first preview I'd done, I was like positive. I was talking about like the Leverkusen game and how I thought, you know what, this is going to be one of the more straightforward games we've got coming up. I think we've got way too much for them. They've got injuries. I hope we should be like maybe 2-0 up at halftime. I was being super optimistic, and then that fucking happened. That shit show happened.
Yeah,
well, fuck it then. Fuck being optimistic.
Exactly. It's why are you being optimistic when this shit comes up? Again, it's Leverkusen. I'm sorry, man. They're in 5th place in Germany. This is the Premier League. I'm going off of what Top Gooners are saying. If it's a farmers league and it's the 5th team in Germany, we should have dog walked this fucking team, not this nonsense.
Especially with the greatest squad in Europe, with the best manager in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's better than Super Duper Mick. No manager can do what Super Duper Mick can do. That's what I've been hearing from the top gooners. We're doing well. We're October champions. We're November champions. We're the best team in Europe. That's what I've been told. Rob, these top gooners, that we are the best team in Europe. No one can stop us. The quadruple charge is on, by the way, so let's not forget about that.
Yeah, okay.
Can you imagine?
And every single one of our fan base want to hype up our players, like Calafiori, for example, the Wild Horse and all that stuff. The next upcoming of Maldini. Shut the fuck up. Watch Maldini's videos, because Maldini is miles clear of this Tarzan-looking hair piece of shit. Because Maldini knows how to defend properly, unlike this Italian Sofia Carson in left back. I'm so grateful he didn't start today. Because if he was in that squad, Leverkusen would target his side. So I'm glad the manager didn't start him at left back and kept on Nketiah. But I'm sorry, I've given Nketiah so much praise this season, but today he looked absolutely off the pace. There was one point in the game, he got the ball and then he ended up passing it straight to his former teammates.
Hey, you want to laugh? Lee Judge's quote for his AFTV video is he's shocked that Arteta took off Saka.
Lee, what I've respected Lee Judges for his opinion,
He did
but
it before,
today
right?
saying that he was shocked taking off Saka, Lee, just grow up. Saka was dog shit today. Why can't you just be a man and admit it to yourself that Saka was terrible? But he's not. He's just gonna say what he believes is right. Listen, I like Lee Judges for who he is as a person, but he needs to grow some balls and just realize that Saka is not the player that he once was. Because a lot of defenders used to fear Saka, but now nobody is afraid of him anymore. They're just like romping up on him. They're just targeting him. So
Yep.
not one single defender is afraid of Saka anymore.
He's lost his burst, as Wenger would say. This
Of
is that
course.
phrase Wenger had. He used it for Wilshere when Wilshere couldn't get back from his injuries, and that he's lost his burst. He's lost that kind of initial like bit of pace he can get. He's still difficult to deal with, but he's not got it anywhere near like what he used when he really kind of like cemented a place for himself and started carrying us a little bit. He's nowhere near that level now, and it's just kind of like it's kind of sad to see, really. And today's performance was one of the worst I can remember. Really, I'd struggled to remember. Like it's just it was horrible. Just like I'm not surprised at all that Arteta took him off. To be fair, I'm surprised that Lee would say that, but maybe they have to say something about Saka. I don't know. It's AFTV, isn't it? So.
Well, the funny thing is,
you know-
Dan Potts comes on right afterwards and says that we need more from Saka. So you already got guys clashing with what the fuck they're talking. That
Even
channel's a
Troops was
fucking
giving
lost
it-
cause.
Even Troops as well. He was talking about Havertz playing a good game. Did you like? I was watching Troops' fan channel, and he said that Madueke and Havertz played very well today. Troops, I
I didn't
respect.
even know
Troops.
Havertz was on the pitch until he took the penalty.
Yeah. Listen, I respect Troops as a person. I like his contact. I've subscribed to his channel, but he should understand that some of these players today, they just weren't. Not one single player deserved to be man of the match. And if I had to choose who should have got man of the match, I don't like him, but I have to do it. It has to be Noni Madueke because, and this is why we should start him in the second leg. And even though I don't rate him very highly, why? Because of that headband he wears all the time. For me, he was the only one that was trying to make stuff happen, despite the fact of that penalty, like of the penalty incident, like the penalty stands, we accept that. He was the only one that was trying to make things happen for us. None of them wanted it. He was the only one that wanted to have the ball, the opportunity to do something for us. And for me, the Kai Havertz penalty doesn't change nothing. He's been our worst player. He's been our worst like £60 million signing this season. Like, I just don't know how we've given him so much money. I just don't understand, guys.
Yeah, but he's clearly playing injured as well because, like, this is your 300k player and you're waiting until like 75 minutes to bring him on. So obviously he's not fully fixed. So wouldn't you bring on your 300k sort of star player on like 60, 65 minutes, something like that? So I don't know, some shenanigans there. But it's just like, guys, listen to this tweet, yeah? So I got this, I was just, whilst you were talking, just scrolling down. Again, this guy isn't a troll. This is just another example of our crazy fan base, yeah? Just listen to this, right? He says, "Dear Mikel Arteta, you're the best manager in the world, and I wouldn't swap you for any other manager." He's not trolling, I checked this. "Not even Pep. However, our last 3 performances have been dreadful and below the standard of the best team in the world."
Well, finally, somebody's saying it.
It's below the standard of the best team in the world because it turns out we're not the best team in the world. It may come as a surprise to you, but yeah.
Yep. We're nowhere near the best team in the world. And again, the Premier League hype is real right now because, like I said, without the corner kick nonsense, it's just fucking bullshit. It can't be that I'm not somebody who believes in coincidences. All these games, if you look across them, the referees are telling them to stop it, and all the Premier League teams are struggling. I don't believe in coincidences like that. And it's no coincidence that once they started calling it, all this. Could you imagine if every single Premier League team goes out because they're not calling these corner kicks? It'd be an
Yeah, what's people
absolute
gonna say?
travesty. I mean, for me, it'd be awesome because fuck Chelsea. That means Chelsea's not getting in on the coefficient, and that means they're going to be bankrupt if they go into the Europa League with the amount of money that they've lost. That they're going to have to sell majority of that fucking team to flip to get some money back in, because they're saying that like Chelsea's like close to 300 million in debt still
Okay.
for what's going on, and that they could potentially be dealing with PSR and FFP, which I hope is the case. So, but I mean, could you imagine that all this hype around the Premier League and none of the teams make the quarterfinals? Would be an absolute fucking disgrace.
I mean, it would be kind of like, I mean, I was going to say it'd be hilarious, but it wouldn't because Arsenal would be out. But like in the context of like all the crowing about it and all the adulation that the Premier League has been receiving, when we can quite clearly see that it's nonsense just because the bar's being lowered. It's not like Burnley are playing scintillating football now, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's fairly obvious that the top teams just aren't coherent. They aren't as attackingly sort of like proficient as they usually are. We just said about Haaland as well, isn't it? So I mean, how, like, I don't understand what game these people, it's like you're watching a completely different game. I swear, like, I think for some people they just sort of watch football and they kind of like zone out when they watch it. They don't really pay so much attention to what's going on, and they don't sort of look at what the actual players are doing and whatnot. And it's just very bizarre for people to think that this is, some people say, the best Premier League season ever. If you can believe that.
Yeah,
it's pretty astonishing, delusional stuff. It's not just our fan base. It's a lot of people saying this.
I don't know how. I mean, I guess maybe if you look at it from the table perspective, only because there's so many teams fighting for the rest of the European spots. Because I mean, you're technically the same thing with what we're saying about City being 7 points behind us, even though they have a game in hand. You know, Everton are 8 points. Everton are 8 points behind Aston Villa for a Champions League spot, and they're in 8th. You've got from Chelsea, who's at 48 points, Liverpool's who at 48. They're only 3 behind Villa each, but Brentford is 4 points behind them. Everton is 5 points behind them. Bournemouth and Fulham are on 40, as well as Sunderland. They're all trying to catch Brentford right now for the Europa Conference League spot, which, I mean,
yeah. So it's 7th, isn't it? Is the Conference League?
If you don't get the coefficient, it's 7th. If you get the coefficient, it drops down to the 8th place team gets it.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I was trying to figure that out earlier. Okay.
Yeah, no. So if the English teams were to come back and everybody wins except Spurs, but if everybody was to win and come back, then it's more of a lock that the English teams will get the coefficient to go in their favor, to where then it'll move down and it'll be Everton that gets the 8th place spot, which would be absolutely hilarious. It'd be absolutely hilarious if Everton got European play.
Well, you go, new stadium, European football. It's all looking up, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
So look at Brentford. Brentford shows, I think Brentford, for me, and this is no shade on Brentford, they show why the league's been shit. How the fuck do you lose your 2 best players? You lose your captain, you lose your coach, and you're much better of a team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
to be fair to them, I've actually, when I've had these conversations with people, I've actually used Brentford as an example of a kind of an exception to the rule, because they actually do. If you watched against us, for example, they were playing decent stuff.
Yeah,
they are actually an example of a team that was sort of lower down that I feel is at least sort of like improved slightly. I don't know. They're playing good. They do play good, attractive, efficient, attacking football. But they are the exception. It's not like, you know, your Burnley's, Nottingham Forest, West Ham are playing amazing stuff. It's
Exactly.
just that your Chelsea's, your Spurs, United, apart from more recently being better, Liverpool, everyone's just been worse. That's pretty obvious. It's amazing to me that it's even a conversation. It just seems so obvious. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. No, 100%. Ivan Toney was very good at Brentford, but so was Wissa, and so was Emblemo right afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they lose Norgard, who was their fucking captain, and they lose a coach, and they're playing better. I mean, fuck. We were lucky that we got away with the draw in the Brentford game. Brentford, if it wasn't for that early save that Riot made, we'd have lost that game. And that's in that run of games that we should have put this league away. But it's just absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
I remember saying to someone at work, if that Brentford game had gone on another 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes, we would have lost the game.
100%.
And of course, I know it doesn't. It's 90 minutes, but you could just see the momentum and the attack and the way they were getting through us and the way they were putting moves together quite easily. It's just like fucking hell. Where did this come from? But then obviously part of that was us being shit. And it's just like it's just the continuation of our usual style of play. It's just this is why I don't see it changing. That we got the fatigue, we got this style of play which we're stuck with because this is us. Believe it, this is us. So well, oh god, it's just like we said, it's a race against time. Hopefully, we can somehow stumble over the line, but it shouldn't be a stumble. It should be much more, relaxing than this. Given everyone else and the mistakes we made earlier in the season. So, it's going to be a peak few weeks.
It's this weekend going into the second game is going to be nuts.
Don't you feel like every game is becoming almost like there's such a cinematic element to it more than ever now? And
we're Heart Attack FC. Rob, we're Heart Attack FC. We're Heart Attack FC. We're not Set Piece FC. We're Heart Attack FC with the way this is going on, man.
It's just like, when I watch the games, I tend to stand up and watch them. I like standing up and watching games, and I'm pacing around like mad. I'm pacing around. I can't, it's just like I'm backwards and forwards, just doing my head in. Can't relax. When was the last time you could relax? Leeds, you could relax in.
To be honest with you, I don't know if relaxed is the word. I've fallen asleep in a couple of the games. The Everton,
you're on your phone so much because it's just so boring. This is what I said to another fan the other day on Twitter. I was kind of like, he was arguing that our games are really good. It's like, but how long does it take you to look at your phone? Think about that. Because that is you just watch it for a couple of minutes and then you just can't help but look away. It was never like, if we were playing like back in the Wenger days, we'd never have like peak Wenger days where we were actually winning. If you had mobile phones, for example, you would not be touching them because you would be watching some scintillating, amazing football. But yeah, we ain't got that now, even though they try to gaslight us that we do and we're the best team in the world. And did you see this thing that come out?
La Liga is the best league in the world. La Liga, as far as ball playing, it's the best league in the world. I'm sorry. We're not even close to these guys.
Did you see this thing that came out? Have you heard of ELO ratings for football?
No, never even heard of it.
So basically, I'd never heard of it, but someone put it on Twitter today. There was a link, and it was like, it's a rating based on going back to 1955, based on loads of different things like results between all the teams in like domestic and European competition, that it works out a points system, a points total, which then sort of tallies the clubs in a table overall. And according to this ELO system, Arsenal is ranked the 6th greatest team in history. This current Arsenal team, he's talking about the current squad, is ranked due to this stupid fucking ELO thing, which must be crazy as fuck. You can Google it and look it up later. It's mad. I went down a little rabbit hole looking at it earlier. 6th, it reckons we're the 6th greatest squad in history.
What are the other squads?
In the Premier League.
Do you by any chance have the other squads up? Of who
if you give me a minute, I can find it for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Because 6th greatest team in history. Let me tell you something. The Liverpool team of the 70s and 80s would play this team off the fucking park. The Milan team of the 90s and 80s would smoke this fucking team in their sleep. The three straight Champions League, Real Madrid would smoke this team. There's plenty of teams that would smoke this team. I don't know. Who the hell are these people that come up with this stupid shit? Arsenal or Valencia, who is better? Arsenal, obviously. Valencia doesn't even have anywhere near the amount of trophies that we have.
So according to this, it was oh no, hang on, sorry, that's wrong. Bear with me, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Trust me, I'm not going anywhere for a little bit. I'm fucking still steaming. I'm still mad about this. Bertrand was a decent player, Amakel. Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's decent. He definitely made the right move to leave Chelsea for himself. Chelsea made the wrong move of choosing them bums over him. Juventus 2003. None of them Juventus teams at the turn of the century are that great to me, Amakel, because they were fixing games. Inter 2010 is one of the best teams. I was just going to say this. You want to talk about a defensive team that had strikers that can actually do what you need to do and can play entertaining football when you want, whether you like Mourinho or not. That Inter 2010 team would smoke this fucking Arsenal team. It's not even close. Are you kidding me? Diego Milito, Samuel Eto'o would relish the opportunity of trying to play this defense with how bad it is. I mean, Macy, what do you believe this, that they're trying to say that this Arsenal team nowadays is the sixth best team of all time, going off this ratings thing? It's like, who the fuck are these people that say this shit?
I don't believe it as well, Gianni. I think it's because of Igal and all these other people that say that Arsenal is the best team in the whole world. I don't think so. Did you see the games that we've drawn to, that we've lost to?
Mm-hmm.
Where are all these people that said that we're the best team in the whole world? I didn't see that when we lost 2-1 to Aston Villa. I didn't see that when we drew 2-2 to Wolves. I didn't see that we drew to Brentford. So for anybody to sit there and say that we're the best team in Europe, go fuck yourself.
So basically, yeah, I fully agree with that. But basically, the list that you're asking for is top is, but I'm kind of doing it sort of reverse chronology, I suppose. But like top is Barca, followed by Bayern, then Real, then Man City, then Liverpool. Oh, sorry, I've got this slightly wrong. I've got to do the years as well. So Barcelona 2012 team, Bayern Munich 2014 team, third Real Madrid 2014 team, fourth Man City 2023 team, fifth Liverpool 2020 team, and sixth Arsenal 2026 team.
Mm-hmm.
They're smoking crack.
Yeah.
They're on.
The old AC Milan team would smoke all them fucking teams. The only team that would give them a problem is Pep's Barcelona. What the fuck are they on?
They're hypocrites, Gianni, my friend. They're hypocrites because they just want to sit there and say that we play the best football in the whole world. Well, newsflash, where was that best football when we dropped points to Chelsea, to Wolves, to Sunderland, Brentford, Manchester United, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest? Like, where was that? So don't sit there and say that we're the greatest team. Prove that when we win the Premier League. We will win the Premier League, but we need to stop playing this robotic, shitty football. I'm sick to death of it.
Bro,
how could we be the sixth greatest team when we got we're better than the Invincible team then? The team
right,
that
that's my point. We haven't even brought up the Invincible team yet. Like, this Invincible team would dog walk this fucking team.
Yeah.
And if a 19-year-old did that to Saliba and fucking Magalhaes, what the hell would prime Thierry Henry and Bergkamp do to these two fucking idiots?
Yeah, and can you imagine if Ori heard that right now, that our fan base said that this version of Arsenal is better than the Invincible Arsenal? Well, then Ori will sit there and he will weigh each and every one of you in, because Ori's a bad man. He's not going to let anyone disrespect his legacy of when he, Bergkamp, Lundberg, Perez, all these legends, they're the ones that created the Invincible season, and that legacy will live on for generations. So any one of you that want to disrespect the Invincible season and say that this version of Arsenal is better, you can all fucking hold that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you get this. If people want to look it up, it's clubelo.com, and then if you go to the system bit, it explains how it works. It's pretty fucking complicated, so I won't read it out because it's kind of boring. But you can see how it works on clubelo.com, and also how it's just a bunch of nonsense, really. But this is the sort of thing our fan base will pick up and put forward as another example of Arteta's like unending, relentless genius.
I just want to know who the fuck comes up with all the stats to try to say that, because again, this team, I could ring off just the teams that I've seen this team wouldn't beat. This team ain't beat the AC Milan team that gave up the 3-0 victory, the 3-0 lead to Liverpool would beat this team with Kaká, Shevchenko, and all them. Yeah, it's got to be AI. It's got to be AI. Good call, Amikel. It's got to be AI. Bro, I can name off 15 teams right now off the top of my head that would smoke this fucking team.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It makes zero fucking sense.
To show you how stupid this is, like if you look at part of how the system works, it actually gives an equation. Listen to this fucking equation and tell me if this makes any sense to you whatsoever. So like the sort of the result basically is represented with an E. So it says the result, or E, equals 1/10 to the power of dr/400 plus 1. What the actual fuck are they even? Is this like what the fuck is that? How does that make any sense whatsoever? Yeah, these people are just hooked up to DMT all the time. They're just in a constant like.
They're creating new stats to try to say that this football is better than football of 15 years ago, and it's not. Sorry, I don't care what stats you pull out of your ass. This football that we watch now is bullshit compared to what the fuck we're watching.
Yeah, Egal was saying that in a few tweets today. I saw he was trying to say, "Oh, we're all nostalgia merchants. You're all nostalgia." Fuck off, man. Seriously, just watch the fucking games. You know.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of it, girl. When I look in his eyes, I see a man who's just out of his mind.
He's getting paid to do it, though.
I know.
Yeah, he's such a grifter. That's
when you're getting paid to do it, you're not gonna. It's the same thing with what we say. If Arteta didn't win, he should walk. But the problem is at the end of the day is, I don't think any of us, if we were getting $15 million a year, would walk away from that job. So that's
and not only Egal is part of the problem, Gianni. Look at these other Wasteman fan base. You've got Babs online sitting like doing some sort of video saying that Kai Havertz, like he was playing the best match of his game against Brighton. Like, bro, did you not see what Kai Havertz did? He had the ball and he had one shot on target. That was the only thing he did. But all in all, what did he actually do against Brighton in that 1-0 win? We were lucky not to have let Brighton score against us. But Babs, don't you sit there and say that Kai Havertz had a good game against Brighton. You my friend, you look like Rikishi, because I'll call the original Rikishi and he can do that stink face on you.
That's a throwback name right there. But it's just absolute nonsense. It's just absolute fucking nonsense across the board. I got a question here from the assembled. Sorry, man, that's been there for a while. Atrocious. So after watching Arsenal this season, what did you expect? Brother, the problem is that when you take everything into an account, you're a $1 billion team. We shouldn't be struggling with these teams. If we're going to struggle, we should be struggling with the best of Europe, not this. Even on a bad day, we should be beating this team. Again, that's where it starts coming back to the standards of where people want this club to be need to fucking change. £1 billion for people to be okay with £1 billion being spent and just to be okay with competing is not okay. I'm sorry.
I don't get it. This is a really crucial point that you're making as well. And it's like they don't understand responsibility and accountability. If it was me who was getting paid £15 million a year to be Arsenal manager, I would just expect there'd be some pressure to win something. I would expect that I would have to produce, that I'd have to bring results, especially after being in the job 7 years and only winning 1 trophy in that time. I would just expect that. That would be normal to me. But for these people who don't understand about it's kind of a reflection of society wider anyway. But
100%.
This day and age of lack of accountability and responsibility, they can't put these two things together. It doesn't even really register with them that this is no small fry. This is the 4th highest paid manager in world football, and who you tell us is the greatest manager in world football.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't hold him to the standard of the greatest manager of being the greatest manager in world football.
Yep. On top of that, here's the better one. How many other teams have spent $1 billion in 6 years for this manager? And not only that, let alone the time period, how many teams after spending $1 billion are still talking about what if, buts, and maybes for fucking trophies? I use this all the time when I have conversations like this. The old AC Milan, when Berlusconi hit his $1 billion mark as far as what he spent, they won already 20 fucking trophies. Inter Milan under Moratti, by the time he hit $1 billion, he already had about 10 fucking trophies and won 4 more afterwards. This is what the standard needs to be. Everyone likes to say we're the 3rd biggest team in England. Well, if we're the 3rd biggest team in England, that puts us in the categories with all the big boys across Europe, historically. If you're going to then add the money to it, you should then be holding yourself accountable and to the standard, like what you said, Rob, of all these other teams and what the legacy of these teams are. That's why this is bullshit. For people to be okay with £1 billion being spent and still finding excuses that it's okay that we're just competing is absolute fucking nonsense.
And also, what other big club? You just ran through a couple of big clubs there. Think about all the big clubs. This is another question I asked them, and they can't answer it because they're trapped. Man City, Liverpool, Man United, your Bayerns, your Real, Barca. Which one of them would keep a manager for 7 years with this return of silverware? None of them.
None of them.
So that tells you everything, doesn't it? But what it tells you is my opinion, one of the things I think about this fan base, or that side of the fan base, it's the problem, is they have a mid-club mentality. They don't see us as a big club. It's like they look at us, it's like we're Aston Villa. So if you think about some of the stuff that they say about Arteta, it applies directly, actually, ironically, to the Emery situation with Villa. He took over a club in crisis. Look how far he's brought us. He's changed our lives. Who could have done a better job? If he goes, who could do a better job? These things all apply to Emery at Villa. He took them from relegation to the Champions League. Who could look how far he brought them? Who could have done a better job than that?
On a shoestring budget compared to what we've done.
Yeah, exactly.
Budget.
Arteta could never have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, this manager that they deride, Emery, and they say Arteta's much better than him. But they're actually describing what he has done with Villa. But because they view Arsenal, they don't view Arsenal as a big club anymore. And it's a big problem. And that's why they want to keep him. That's part of the reason why, because they don't have the standards. And even then and when we start to talk about and try to educate people about standards, they throw it back in our face. Standards FC, your standards, like having high standards is a bad thing. Like, what are you on about?
If you're the third biggest team in whatever fucking country it is, you're supposed to have standards, and high standards at that. We should be competing for, they act like, oh man, we're competing for all 4 trophies at this point of the season. It's awesome. Brother, that should be every fucking year. We're Arsenal.
Exactly, yeah.
We should be, and to what you were saying, here's the other sad thing about the Emery situation and with Villa in general. We have a leg up because of this PSR bullshit. PSR does not allow the owners of the smaller teams to pump in cash for them to be able to try to compete with the big 6. So you already have a leg up on the competition. How do you have a leg up on the competition and you're still finding a way to make this a bullshit fucking season? That's where this problem goes into. You already have a leg up. You spent a ton of money. I mean, again, Villa got hit with PSR. Everybody forgets the guy who was our main forward scoring goals and getting assists for us at the beginning of the year, who was really carrying us, was Trossard. He was supposed to go to Villa at the beginning of the year, if we all remember. It wasn't until PSR said, oh, if you buy Trossard, you're going to get a point deduction. You can't buy him. It's nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. And again, Chelsea. It wasn't like Chelsea just dropped $1 billion and they didn't win nothing. When it was under Abramovich, look how many trophies they fucking won under Abramovich. It's like 19, 20 trophies they won.
You will literally have parts of our fan base who will say things like, no, we don't want to do that. I'd rather be us with our couple of managers in the last 20 years than Chelsea with all their managers. What? And all their trophies as well.
Exactly.
Look, if you look at the most, let's take this century, for example, the most successful clubs, and you could go back further as well, the most successful clubs change their manager regularly.
Yep.
Your Real Madrids, your Chelsea from obviously Chelsea not so much recently, but when they're more dominant,
Yep.
changing managers. Bayern. This is a normal thing.
City. Look at City. City got 2 leagues with 2 different managers before Pep came, with Mancini and Pellegrini.
Mm-hmm. People are still obsessed with this kind of one man. They got this one-itis. They're just obsessed with keeping one manager. Listen, Jenny, thanks for having me on. I've got a chip. But no problem. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Macy, Kwaja, and everybody in the lovely chat. So, I see you do a few calling shows, so I'll have to jump on in future if you're keeping on.
You're more than welcome anytime, my guy.
Anytime.
My guy.
Cool, guys. All right. Have a good night. Yeah, take care.
Have a good rest of your night, Rob. Appreciate you hopping on, my guy. I mean, it's Macy. What do you make of this with what Rob was saying as well? It's absolute nonsense that we have high standards for these other clubs, but for us, when we've spent this amount of money in this short of a time period, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we still have to have a mentality. You know what? And I've said this before. You look at what's going on with Chelsea with their fucking bum, Liam Rossignol. You look at what's going on with fucking Arsenal. Part of the reason why football is going to shit is because the big clubs are now having a small club mentality. And like what Rob was saying with the fan base, that's the problem.
Rob is right, because like I just cannot believe, why did Chelsea go and appoint a PE teacher, like somebody who wasn't good enough to coach Hull City and Derby County, and somebody that, but you hear a lot of Chelsea fans, Gianni, saying, "Oh, but he took Strasbourg to the Conference League." So
Who
what?
gives a shit about Strasbourg and France?
Yeah. And what's even more worse is the fact that their owner, Chelsea's owner, has basically combined forces with Strasbourg, apparently. So now he owns both football clubs. Like, what, for what purpose? I don't understand. Why is he in control of both football clubs? Like, who? I understand Strasbourg is a French club, but tell me one good thing Strasbourg has done all season since they got back to Ligue 1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Completely agree. I reached out to Nat Stramica. I think he's busy because I know he said he was going out for the game tonight when we talked yesterday. Do you remember Mario Jardel? Jardel was a fucking baller.
Yeah, Mario Jardel.
Chelsea, again, Amical, with the teams that you're saying, we're talking about the Porto team from 04. I don't know where the hell these guys come up with these stats to say that this Arsenal team is the sixth greatest
the Chelsea
team.
05 team was the best, like the likes of Drogba, Makelele, and all these other guys.
Yeah, remember we were going to break the 15 goal record in the Premier League at the beginning of the year. Remember that bullshit?
Yeah, that's true.
Big up, Brenny. Big up, Brenny. Listen, guys, I'm going to wrap. I got to take care of some stuff. RSV real quickly before we wrap. Do you think even the 2012 Man United team, which is one of Man United's weakest team, would smoke this Arsenal side? They would give them a go. I mean, again, if we're looking at it, a 19-year-old gave Saliba and all these guys all the problems. I could only imagine what Robin Van Persie would do to that team. So it's absolute nonsense. But Macy, Quaja, big up to you guys. Always appreciate your guys' time hopping on.
No, big up, man.
Yeah,
Quaja, you got anything going on before we bounce?
No, I'm just doing my match reaction on YouTube. Got shorts. I'm just really disappointed with the performance. I've got to take the draw because I have no other choice. Because let's be real, I'm not here to say, oh, I wanted to play for the draw, but the performance was terrible. But we scammed our way to a draw. It was a soft penalty, but listen, all in all, I'm very disappointed, but all in all, we're still in the tie. That's the most important thing. And I do believe we can win at home, but we just need to do better. And I feel like with Everton, I understand, Macy, that there is a few concerns, and I get it. I'm a little bit concerned as well. However, we can beat Everton because let's not forget, they are beatable. We're not saying that Everton can't be beatable. They are beatable. They will allow space. And let's not understand the fact that we cannot be relying on penalties, own goals, and set pieces because this cannot be sustainable. I'm sorry. But we need to score more from open play fluid football. I was thinking about this, Gianni. Why do we not play 4-1-4-1? Let Rice just be the 6. Let Rice just play that lone 6. Let him do that defensive work and play Skelly and Eze the 2 centre mids. Why do we not play 4-1-4-1? Let Rice just sit.
That could be a good idea, but the thing is, this manager doesn't try that system because he thinks that this formation is better with Rice in the 8 and Zubimendi as the 6. That's what this manager think. Like, this is why he chose that formation, because he thinks that this is his way of playing. This is his way of his own way of playing football like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the definition of haramble, by the way. So
I know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. But big up to you guys. Appreciate you guys hopping on.
Big up, man.
We're gonna redirect to I think BBK is live.
Okay.
I think BBK is still live. But yeah, appreciate you guys hopping on. Head over to BBK, give him a Gianni raid. Appreciate everybody who stopped by for the conversation today. We will be back at some point over the weekend, possibly either Saturday or Sunday. Appreciate you guys hopping on again as always. And yeah, man, we are out. Appreciate everybody that stopped by.
Take care. Laters.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.